Oh my. Wow, okay. So when the raindrops fall from the sky, we got a Canadian that's so fly all around. Okay. We got, she stole my thunder in the building. So salute to She Stole My Thunder coming in early. But anyways, though, welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. It's your boy M3. I got the homies Sophisticated Jerk and Stan, the man with the master plan, with us as well, too. Welcome
What's going
to
on,
our
M3? What's up, Stan?
Nothing much, man.
M3, real quick, man.
Yeah.
Before we jump into stuff, shout out to your intro, man. This is the first time I actually realized it, but there was a light-skinned dude with a do-rag, man, pulling up on a bad black joint. So yeah, shout out to light-skinned dudes, man. Ladies, get you a light-skinned guy now. We're at half price. Come this time next year, the price is going up. Don't get priced out the light-skinned market. Get you a light-skinned guy now. That's it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay, for sure. Hey, light-skinned guys are up for sale, you know what I mean? So, the market is hot right now, especially with inflation going down.
We're on discount. Don't be going to your mom like, Mom, look, I missed out on that light-skinned market. I could have got me one half price. Don't miss out, ladies. Get you a light-skinned guy now. Don't be priced out the market next year. 2025, we going up on price.
Yeah. And look, and just to kill the stereotype, look. We got some tough light-skinned guys too, though. So if y'all want the thuggish, ruggish, bone thuggish,
they know
type of light-skinned guys.
Man, they know. Some of them act like they don't know about light-skinned men. Some of their dads are light-skinned.
Oh,
I like that, Stan. I like that.
All out. Y'all fake dark skin. Y'all light-skinned. Y'all light-skinned inherited. So don't play with us.
So we got She Stole My Thunder in the building, right? Let me see about let me move stand up. There we go, right? So we got She Stole My Thunder in the building. She says she's watching in the background, folks. So I won't be responding. Yet she is responding, right? See, that's how I like it. This is Toxic Tuesdays, right? We say one thing and then we break it. Knowledge relationships, a fly Canadian? Where? And then also she says, light-skinned dudes in aisle 5, they're like pants half off. Oh, okay.
Just for 2024. That's why I just want to get the announcements out. Let everybody know, man. Don't miss out. They're gonna be in 2025. Like, look, man, I'm trying to get a light-skinned dude. They still on discount.
But
you got to pay full price at that point.
A lot of them already light-skinned and they be lying. I'm proud of it, but they other ones be lying. I'll be like, I seen you.
They be lying. They hide from it, man. We was out of style for a while, but
man, you guys never gone nowhere. I one time I told AM, we don't die, we multiply and come in different shades and color. So
Facts.
Yeah, man, these people be lying. I'm just saying. I remember one time I met somebody who was, I think, what they call them, a hotep. All black and everything, and he was trying to come for me. I'm like, yo, bro, like, I know your mother. Your mother's like Cherokee and African American and like Shantae Moore. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you?
Yeah, they was nervous
your brother, and I seen his father. His father's like the barge. He came out chocolate. I'm like, bruh, you lying. Like, come on, man. You're embarrassing me. Just be proud of your light-skinned heritage like the rest of us. Oh.
Right. Tell him, Stan. Tell him. Get him,
But all right, M3, what you got for us today, man? What we cooking up?
All right, so we got a couple of videos. I think we got like 5 good consecutive videos that's going to be breaking down on the art of self-love, right?
Oh, shit.
So, when women, I'm going to put it like this, right? Just as a disclaimer. So women, when they fall out of certain relationships, or when they leave or divorce their husbands or men or whatever, the first thing that comes to their mind is like, dang, something went wrong. It's not because I was emotionally, physically, financially, mentally, spiritually, PMSingly, abusive. It was just that the fact is I wasn't loving myself enough. So you gotta give a lot of self-love, so when it comes to females, you gotta give a lot of self-love to them when they're going through these bad relationships. That is the solution right there. They didn't love themselves enough. No matter how selfish they was in their previous relationship, they was not selfish enough. So we're gonna play some of these videos because it's gonna break it down with the self-love topic.
Hey, so so based on what you hear from them, what is your takeaway when they say self-love? Stan, what's your...
Well, I can't. I would say when I hear self-love, it's different. I'm going to differentiate from self-care. Self-care is something different, and that's something that we all do.
I like that because okay.
You got to do that, right? When I hear self-love, I'm just like, oh crap, it's going to be self-destruction. What's only going to happen? Because see, whenever time I hear self-love, it's like, what relationships did you destroy? Because it's like, yo, you don't make the announcement about boundaries and self-love to the world. That's something that you had to do throughout your life. It actually has to be part of who you are, and then people get it, right? I didn't make an announcement about like, hey, don't touch me. I don't make an announcement of, hey, don't talk to me like that, right? It's something that you either see me live and you already know like how this guy operates and this is what Stan is about, right? But I don't need to go ahead and make announcements about how I need to cut people off and I got all these haters, and it's just a negative connotation when I hear self-love. When I hear self-love, I'm just holding on to my seat and ready to go for the whole roller coaster. Because it's,
Yeah.
It's not a good word.
I agree with you, man. I think it's a phrase, like, because we were talking about it a little bit yesterday, and I was just like, man, self-love really is just... I think people want to hide behind phrases because really what they want to do is hit these streets. So it's like a female saying, it's like, man, I want to practice self-love. Like I said, they want to jump out here and get some dick. If guys say it, they want to smash a bunch of chicks. So it's just like, I can't say that because then I got the perception of being like a for the streets, whatever. So it's like, I got to hide it behind these phrases. Like, hey, man, I'm going on my journey of self-love. So it's like when you start asking...
Sorry, but for us men, if we do it, it's not the same way women do it. If you say that I'm going on the journey for self-love, a lot of people gonna come in like, you're being selfish. How dare you not thinking about ways of serving your family more? It's different.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely gonna try to guilt trip you. So you're right on that. But it's just like that's what all of this shit means. So I think people are getting hip. So they're just like, damn, we got to create a phrase, man, because I don't want to say, hey, I just want to go out here and fuck somebody. So it's like now I gotta be like, hey, I'll practice this self-love. So like what they do is like they'll go to one therapy session to make it like somewhat legitimate. Because they know people are gonna ask. They're gonna be like, hey man, what did you do on your journey of self-love? Well, I went to therapy. One session. So it's just, so they go to that one session and then they go to the streets and they're like, hey man, I was in a, I was just I was on my journey, I was healing, I was doing this. It's like, man, you was at the club. You wasn't on no damn journey. You went to the club, you was over there, happy hour, you was at wet t-shirt Wednesdays, you was at freak off Fridays. So that's what self-love is in my eyes. It's bullshit. That's what it is.
It just takes that one therapy session to be healed. You know what I mean?
Which is not real. It's not. It's consistent, ongoing, doing the homework, application, and also being being real with yourself and seeing what part you played in, or what part you accepted stuff, and then why you're accepting it, and then also after that you have to change.
But the reality.
Stan, let me ask you a question because you do know like mental health, and I appreciate you for that. You know how to break it down. Do you really need therapy for being selfish and being self-centered? Do you really need to go to a therapy session for that?
To the person who's truly selfish, I think they're not going to therapy for to fix themselves. They probably going to validation of why they should stay selfish.
Look, I know I don't need it.
Because I always bother. I'm like, man, why the hell is it's just like, man, you're just greedy and selfish. Like, do you really need to so that makes sense. It's like, man, you kind of want somebody to justify what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you have a real good therapist who can see through your stuff, they'll probably pull it out. But if you're good at masking and maneuvering, you can fool your therapist because the therapist only know you for what you present.
So do you think I'm sorry, y'all, but I just be interested by this. Do you think sometimes a therapist prolongs the process? Because with me, it's just like, hey man, you know what? You're fucking selfish. One session, 10 minutes, you're out of there. You're saving your money.
It's something for me, right? My therapist stayed with me for like a couple of years for me to realize on my own that this organization I joined was a cult. She didn't she didn't tell me I was in a cult, but she allowed me to gain that own perspective on my own, and it took me a couple of years for me to accept it. Like, yo, I'm part of a
Oh,
cult.
okay.
But also at the same time, for some people in the church, this is something like your own spiritual awakening, whatever. So it's real. The church part of it is real. The organization part of it is not okay, and it is not healthy, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times it does take some years because you gotta rebuild yourself, and that's the whole thing. Like when you rebuild yourself, you have cognitive dissonance to where you now gotta challenge your old beliefs with your new beliefs and knowing where you got to step forward.
Yeah.
But under no means will, like, if you're part of like a healthy relationship, like I have, my family is a healthy relationship. My therapist is not going to tell me to cut them off because they don't serve me. That's not a job of a therapist.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
You know what I'm
M3, you're
saying?
real
Like,
quick. What's your take on self-love, man? What is your roundabout? What is your definition? Would you say, like, hearing how people define it?
Me as a selfish guy, right? I need all the self-love I could get.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I'm
So,
very
you
selfish.
know,
they're not selfish. They're acting like they're selfish. They're not. I know selfish people. These two guys are not selfish.
Don't mess up our shine, Shan.
I'm
No,
just
that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Also, M3 is light skinned. I'm just gonna put it out there. But
you know what?
So M3 though, what's your take? What's self-love to you?
Ponytail in the back. I don't get no light skinned than that.
Hey, you know what? Screw you, Stan. I'll come back for you later though. But yeah. So my take is this, right? I mean, I feel like every person, right? Every man, every woman should come to a point where you should be loving yourself more than you're hating yourself. But the problem is that a lot of people, I think you said something about like, they use like, I can't think of the word, but they just use a whole bunch of fillers into it, right? They make it into jargons because they try and mask of them just being a whole. Like, look, if you want to like now live a life, right, where you have more freedom, like you have more sexual liberation, like just say, look, man, I'm free and I'm liberated. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a problem with that, right?
I know. You got. Look, man, we gotta start worrying about people. See, that's the problem. That's what people mess themselves up. Y'all worrying about people that you will probably never really see in your lifetime judging you, or you're worried about the peers that's not even your actual friends and they're going to judge you. People are going to judge you just by looking at you. You know what I mean?
And here's something, and I'm going to add on to that. You ready for it?
It's
you date a girl, and she says she got self-love, right?
Uh-huh.
And she wants you to love her where she at in her life, right? And she's going to explore and date a lot of guys. But what she don't want you to do is go ahead and explore your options. Because now you being selfish.
Well, here's the thing, right?
That's the self-love that's out here right now.
I ain't gonna lie. Look, what was the other one? That sounds kind of hippie-ish, man. That's self-love too, man. That's that.
But see, here's the thing, right? See, women has a misconception, right? Just because they're able to get free, accessible access, right, to pretty much a whole plethora of cocks, right, does not mean that we have the
You're doing so good.
I tried. But that doesn't mean that like we have the privilege, right, to get in the viscous inners. But they have that notion that we could do the same things, or yet, and believe me, I hear these conversations a lot, and I always have to correct them. They think that we have more access to sex than they do.
You think they believe that, man? There's no way.
They don't want you to have access to sex. How dare you have access to sex? I'm going to have access. This is my journey. This is my boundaries. You don't get to date any other woman. You stay right here and wait for me to make a decision and choice. If I choose you or not. And if I don't choose you, I still need you to celebrate me.
So you saying they it's a leverage thing with them. Like they seeing they have some leverage and it's like, let me go out here, have my experiences, and dummy, you sit over there and wait.
I mean,
Right.
that's what
Damn.
we're seeing, and it's not even the thinking. It's beyond. We've seen it. It's going on for 20 years. Because now, when we hear self love, it's already negative connotation. It's not self
Mhm.
perseverance. It's not self respect. It's not having goals. It is like, here's my boundaries. You follow these rules. That don't apply to me. I'm manifesting, not working for what I believe I need to do. I'm not taking those steps. And also, you will have accountability because you hurt me. And if I hurt you, that's your problem. So there's no accountability for me.
Well, it's not your problem. It's your
So it's
fault.
like
Everything's your fault.
focus on self.
Yes,
That's
that's
where you have
correct.
the issue. There that
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You got to understand, right? Like, okay, anything that men do, right? Of course, like we're looking at as we're the villains. So we're the ones that cause them to have these type of conditions. We the ones that create these heartbreaks because for many years, especially that was always advertised, especially in these sitcoms. Yeah, I wish I had put up. I wish I could have put up a clip from like Family Matters, right? But I'll tell you that in a minute. But when it comes to the men, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're always the ones that like that because we cause so much like trouble. It is justified, right, for a woman to treat us the way that we treat us, so the way that they treat us because unfortunately, we put them in those type of acts in those type of situations. It was something else I was gonna say, but I kind of lost my train of thought just for that moment. But it will come back to me though.
Yeah, let
Let's
me
go.
ask you
Let me
guys
go.
something.
Mhm.
So man, do y'all feel like, man, as a society, man, we're already like I think everybody has a little bit of like selfishness and self-centeredness, and I think I have one of the issues I have with self-love is just like I think we need to like actually water it down. I think we have way too much self-love, like self-focus and stuff like that, where it's just like, do we really need more self-love? Like shit, if we have any more self-love, we might as well start dating ourselves at this point.
I
I'm
mean,
not,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
put it like
gonna do
this
that.
on the behalf
What's
of
that?
men, like we don't have enough.
You don't think you so you say men don't, but what about women as the opposite gender? Do you
I'm gonna
feel
say
They,
this:
they got.
men are different, right?
Mhm.
Remember, like it's like MGTOW, right? That means men going their own way. Meant that they're now going to school, they're now going to do the business they want to. Women is not the focus, and they're going to build themselves up, then come back, right? It's never meant to like. I never call it self love. Like if men do it, it's never. We never go around saying self love, and we
yeah.
don't because if we're looking like, dude, what's your problem? Like, what you talking about,
I
right?
mean, our self love is our purpose. So that's that's the equivalent to it. If you really think about it.
But also but our purpose is not something that we brag about. It's not something that we need celebration about. Even like the purpose of like, hey, if you're a husband, you take care of the household. If you're a father, you take care of your child, or you know what I'm saying, or you take care of the family. You got to take care of the elderly, right?
Right.
It's but also at the same time, the it's not selfish to think about yourself because you can't take care of somebody else unless you fill up your own cup. You got to have that time to like go to the gym, take a walk. You just
Yeah, I
got
agree
to,
with that.
right? And that is it's just healthy. I
But
don't.
see, that's what I'm saying. Is that really self-love? Is that just
That's self care,
establishing a routine? Like
but
that
that's
stuff
self
you should be
care.
doing on a regular. You know what I'm saying?
That'll be called self care. That
Okay,
would be
I
called
got you.
self care. Self love has taken the place. I don't even know what it means, except for
I,
bachelorette.
Yeah,
Remember that
I was
thing
gonna
about like
say, yeah,
no, we ain't doing bachelorette parties no more. We're doing bachelorette trips, going to Jamaica. Girl, you about to get married. Go to Jamaica with your husband. What are you doing? Like it's now like these
so you're
self
saying it's like an
love.
over celebration? Like we celebrate everything. It's damn. You
we're
got to
We what
celebrate.
is
we're
we?
celebrating.
Where is this we? We don't. Us men on here, we don't do this.
Okay, so it's
We're not overindulgent brunch. We don't have no guys not out. We don't do none of this stuff. Me and my boys about to go to get some massages. We don't. This is not stuff we do. Self care is what we do because you got to take care of yourself before you take care of someone else. Like It's just natural. You just got to do that, or you're gonna be depressed, or you're gonna have negative thoughts, or you're gonna abandon people and just leave and check out totally. So self-care is very different from
self-love.
Self-love, because self-love to me is a marketing ploy for being completely selfish.
Yeah, it's a ploy for the streets. That's what it is. But y'all want to jump in these videos real quick?
Streets, you be killing me.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely jump into these videos.
It's a marketing campaign for the streets. That's all that shit is. Self-love.
And I just realized that I actually put on practice mode for IG, so now I'm just re-streaming it again, so that way it could be out to the public. So hopefully, hopefully we can get this IG boot up. Okay,
it's all good. It's all good.
All right, so now we're back live on IG. I was wondering what was going on. All right, but anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and play the video. For the ones who are tuning in late, we are talking about self-love. This is mostly catered to women because we don't really matter. Just be honest with you, but
you matter, M3.
Not to the world, but I know I do to myself. But it's all good though. That's why.
So in this clip, she's gonna break down her like a self-love to her.
Okay. Let me see. Stay in the mirror. All right. Fair use.
Stand in the mirror naked for 5 minutes. Put a timer on and just look at yourself. Day one, I was literally shaking because I was like it was already tough for me to love my body. But after the C-section scar, with all my therapist told me, stand in the mirror naked for 5.
So step one,
look
at yourself naked.
No, actually,
for 3
days. You got to do that like every day. It works. It helps you ground yourself.
Stan, are you serious?
Yeah, it helps ground yourself and present. So for me, I have this thought in my mind that I'm not actually 3 feet tall. I'm not 3 feet. I'm 6'1". So when I express myself a lot of time, people run away.
Your 6 foot ass has to stand in the mirror with some butt naked with some tube socks on and reassure yourself that you're 6 foot.
Yeah, it's also remind myself like, okay, this is who I am, because in my mind, how I see myself a lot of time is like I'm 3 feet, like I'm still like this little kid that gone through all this stuff, but I'm not. I'm grown. I have to be present. This is where I'm at today. But you go through this exercise like every day. It helps with grounding yourself and also keep you in the present so you don't fall into PTSD mode where you think so much about your past. So it does help out a lot. It's an exercise. But like it's different for every person. For her, it took 3 days. For a lot of people, you just got to keep on doing it just to remind yourself of who you are, where you're at in life, so you don't fall to like being the person that you think you are, and it's constantly like a negative thought. So you just have to fight that, and it's a good exercise.
So Stan, I'm gonna try this out. So I'm going to, strip down, get in the mirror. Okay, myself. What temperature? What temperature should the room be? I just want. I'm just messing around.
I don't know who got drones. Don't be naked, people. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the place you stand. They got cameras. This is not the world to be naked. Just be in your underwear and literally, you just look in the mirror and not even think. You just look in the mirror and say, "Okay, this is who I am." Not examine, because we're not. Women have a gift of seeing like flaws all the time themselves. It's a gift because you can see, because they just very detail oriented. They can look and just see everything and it's very detailed, but the flaw part is not a gift. For the fact they can see details. For me, I have to realize like, hey, I'm not 3 feet. I'm not a little boy anymore. I'm a grown ass man. Because I have, we did this segment before. I don't want to bring it up, but I have a lot of traumatic experiences in my past. So I have to see myself as a grown man, because again, when I express my emotions, right, the person that's receiving the message from me, they don't see 3 foot Stanley or little Stanley. They see grown ass Stanley that's about to go ahead and grab them. And they're running away. And I'm like, where you running? Where you going? And they're like, call the police. So for me, I have to like, and there's other exercises I do as well, but I just want people to know I'm not going to share too much because I don't want to rob you of your own therapy sessions, which a lot of time the internet, a lot of time these social internet, whatever pages, what they do is they rob people from going to therapy themselves. So people will go ahead and take these exercises and do them, but it might not be the exercise that you need.
So it should be tailored to you, pretty much, when you go and somebody assesses you. But you said this is a solid, what she's mentioning.
Yeah, it works.
Pretty solid. Okay.
Yeah, it works. It works. So for her, she was like,
Okay.
that's like she's being present.
But
that's
you said the room should be a little warm. Should it be cold in there for
again,
no, I'm joking.
Again, like, look, don't be a nobody OnlyFans page and they making money off your naked body. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But this is not self-love. This is self-care.
So this is self-care. Okay.
This will be self-care. This will not be self-love.
Okay.
Now that's something that Tamara did or Tia did. Now that's self-love.
That's self-love.
That's self-love.
That's selfish, but yes. But look, I'm gonna put it like this, man, because I think as men, and this is why, like, I going back to a point where we don't really know about loving ourselves. Like us being like selfish, I feel like we're under love ourselves in some cases. And whereas to like our counterparts, like, yeah, they got all the support system, they could overlove, they got the ability to lie to themselves and hype themselves up. You got other people hyping them up, but we're always reality always hits us, no matter what. We may get like maybe a couple of hours of feeling like at our highest, like we're the man. But all it takes is just like, one or two women or some other turnaround events to bring us down. And unfortunately, because most of us, we get constantly beat down like on a daily. And I'm not saying beat down as far as like every day somebody is chin checking you. You can still have your good days, but it's like the subtleness, right? Reality still hits you.
So you think you're just pretty much saying like as men, man, we got to face the realities. Like we're the ones approaching. So it's just like, man, you got to deal with the rejection. So it's like almost in real time. Like you get, so yeah, females typically don't have to go to that process. So,
but here's the thing, right? It's beyond like rejection because you also have to like, face the humiliation as well too. And since, you have social media where not only they're going to reject you, but they're going to humiliate you. Then some of them may make you to a meme. I think Stan said that at one point. Somebody said it, right? And salutes to like, Jedi Mike. Salutes
my good, brother. Jedi Mike.
Hope you're doing well. But the thing is that like, like we constantly got to worry about what the outcome is going to be for us. Because unfortunately, not even our own fellow men will have our backs like that, and to the public.
So Stan, you think overall the key is pretty much to not give a damn? At a certain point, you just gotta be like, look, it is what it is. I don't care about rejection. I don't care about
I think
the mean stuff. It's just like I gotta just pull up and take it as it is. Because I mean, I think that's where I'm at.
Okay, I'm the one that did say something about the meme. Like don't be a meme and don't put yourself out.
What's good, comrade?
Because a lot of times now, if you step up to a group of girls or whatnot, they want to reject you so then they can go ahead and make it a viral clip. A lot of times our rejection is televised. Just point blank. It's really televised. It's televised. Now there's some people that are creeps and they deserve it. I'm not talking about those people. But when you like now we have this thing, right? For like 10 years or so, you used to be able to film in the gym and show people your workouts. Now gyms is like closing it down because a lot of men lost jobs. You placing yourself in front of equipment that other people could use and doing doing exercises like what are you doing? But there's some exercises my trainers be like, is this exercise or a circus act? Like this is not going to do anything for anybody. But then you staging this stuff and it's like, or that woman that we talked about last year, who was like, "Oh, you take me to Cheesecake Factory," and she put him on live, and he took her straight home, right? And he's supposed to be the villain. Like, no, you
Yeah.
should be grateful that somebody's taking you out to eat, spending time and money with you. And actually, he picked a place, but she was late, and so they went somewhere else. So he still wanted to spend time with her. Cheesecake Factory wasn't his first choice, but even still, he was demonized. And so, yeah, you'll become a meme if you do stand up for yourself. But the thing about it, right? You don't care about what other people say if you already have your own morals. If you have your own morals and your own way of life, you really don't care about what other people think. You have a strong sense of self. And with a strong sense of self, you just know when to walk away.
Yeah, and I think that's the key, man. Because like even like if somebody was recording you, say like you pulled up, man, I think you just get to the point. They ain't feeling it. You just catch that vibe, man. You keep it moving. So I think sometimes people are just a little awkward. They want to stick around longer. They want to come up with some cheesy pickup lines. This is like, hey, man, nah, just shoot your shot, be direct, be a little smooth with it. You ain't got to be all over the top and stuff. And then it's just like, man, you get a little feeling that it ain't working out. It's like, man, you got to just get up out of there. So shit, if they record you, ain't gonna be enough no longer to the segment. So yeah, I just think people can't worry about that type of stuff.
And we get rejections all the time as men. We get rejections all the time. Like rejection is not something where it's like, oh, okay, I get rejected, and then you just move on. Because for every one girl that says no, there's 5 more that says yes.
But see, I don't think a lot of us, we get past to like where we overcome the surface areas. We may get like, I don't know, like 15 or 50 rejections before like that last person will say, hey, I'll rock with you. But then you also have like men that feels like at this point, what is the point of even approaching? See, back then it was worth like, putting the effort into like making an approach. If one person is rejecting you or humiliating you, you go on to the next.
Yeah.
But because I think social media does have something to do with it, like with the perspective of it. Because when you look at like, okay, even though I'm not saying all women are like this, right? But when all you're doing is tuning into something that is not healthy in your mind, and you're looking at images, you're looking at videos of a different woman of all ethnic groups just wilding out doing the same gibberish, and your mind is going to be tainted. You're not even going to put the effort into, like, let's say you guys had a segment about like the brunch thing or whatever that
Oh yeah, the brunch. Yeah,
like the brunch. Like back then, like look, the
OGs. Can you enlarge us? Because we're still looking at that. Just enlarge us.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so back then, right, like men, like I said, like in my dad's era, will definitely capitalize on that opportunity. You know what I mean? And they will, spit some game, make it happen, and bam, that was it. But there was also a reward at the end as well, too, though. There's no reward like, just showing up, not knowing the outcome, and if they don't like you, they're not going to be respectful about it. They'll snicker, they'll laugh. Or especially like if they're speaking a different language, now they're talking about your ass in front of you. And you're just like the clown that's on the table.
Yeah.
So because there's a large amount of disrespect that's always constantly hitting towards men, I mean, men ain't going to fight back and just like, stoop down to the level. They're just going to come to the conclusion that the best way to deal with these situations is by not communicating with them at all.
But see, I think that's wrong. I think that's a wrong assessment because even back in the day, I just think, man, growing up, we was just taught, man, it's kind of a numbers game. Like, look, man, everybody ain't gonna like you. Mm-hmm. You got to shoot your shot. Some days you might do a little better. Some days, you might holler at 10. All of them gonna shoot you down, but you can't take it personal. So that was just like, I think pounded in our mindset where it's just like, and then, we didn't care. So even like, man, growing up, I remember like, we used to challenge each other to kind of like force each other to go out there and holler. It's like, hey, man, you got to go up there. You got to talk to that table right now or you can't kick it with us. So it's like we kind of made each other like, it's like sharpen each other's swords. Where it's like, man, you have to get over that fear. Like, nah, man, you got to go over there and holler at that table. Dude will go over there. They were like, nah, they clowning them. So it's just like, man, we forced that I think that fear out of each other. Where nowadays I don't think like men are pushing each other to like do that type of stuff. And it's like, man, we'll giggle a little bit. Like we had this one boy, homie, just got shot down. It was like a Gatling gun. He was like, I was like, damn. They all shot you down, but it was like, man, we'll clown a little bit, but it's like, hey, man, look, I got shot down yesterday, so salute. Suck it up and keep it moving. But it just made us like, like stone cold to like rejection, where it's just like, man, we ain't even worry about that. Hey, we get rejected, oh well, like we'll move on to the next group,
No, and I feel and I miss like those days like where you had your homies that were like, if you don't talk to them, they're gonna push you or find some type of way to like put you out there on blast. But now the stakes.
My homies will go talk to her themselves and get the number. They're like, you see this number? This could have been yours. Next time you see somebody, you go talk to them. But I'm going to take her out. But I'm going to bring her name up to you all the time. I'm going to bring.
my old homies like they was loyal. They was like, look, man, if you don't talk to him, man, I'm going to embarrass you and put you on blast. You ain't got no choice but to talk to him.
He told the girl that his name was Stanley. So he recorded her saying my name while they were doing it.
Oh,
and he said, "You see what you miss out? Look, Florida is no joke. When they take it, like
I think it's ruthless.
It's like
they gangster over there. Shit,
you know what I'm saying? They like do this again. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm like, don't no videotape. I learned to go ahead and talk.
but Stan, but the point is that right now everything the stakes is much higher than what it was before. Because cats out there losing their jobs, man, just to try to holler at certain.
Yes, I agree.
Man, are they?
Yeah. People
they are.
They do the doxing
for talking to a female. Y'all serious?
Even
if they're crazy enough, they would.
I mean, are they coming up just regularly? Hey, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Like, hey, I just want to. Can I get a couple minutes? So they're approaching like that, and they're losing their job. It can't be possible.
How bad it is right now. I had a coworker. My last job got fired because he went on a date. The date didn't go well. She went to HR. She didn't work for us at all. And talked to our HR rep about what happened, and next thing I know, he got fired. So, so this is what I'm saying. A lot of times, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say there's got to be more details because it's no way that somebody could go to your job and be like, hey man, I went on a date with this guy and I just didn't like him and didn't end well. And
no, it happens to
credibility matters, man. Like when it comes to these companies now these days, and it's like. That's the dingo the carrot that they hold upon you. Like you could be doing something that's not even work related. You could be messing with someone that is not even like affiliated with your company. But because that person has enough people to rally behind him or her, and they could go directly to your job and say all these incriminating things, show text messages of you sexing or whatever type of video, they don't want that. They don't want that to be associated with their brand. That's
I understand that, but I mean, you got to be maneuvering a little wild, I think, man, for that to happen. Because I just feel, man, if you kind of approach and you structure it a certain way, man, this is. I guess maybe I'm blind to it. Maybe I'm just old, shit.
No. Because even now, right now, women want jobs to okay men to date within the company, or like they have to start dating. There's an article for that. And I'm like, under no way I'm not trying to date no coworkers. Let me help people out the stages of life and dating. You went to high school, you had a chance to marry your high school sweetheart, but you didn't. One. When we are in our 20s and we were going to college or we were working, there was also the time to find your boo, right? For me, I got my heart broke twice in college. That's when I became an international hoe. So I was open to all the races. I'm like, you know what? These black women are going to play these games for me. Okay, fine. I went ahead. I'm in college, and it's university. And
so at college you became international with it, huh?
Mm-hmm. You just made me sad, man. Just see, now you got me reminiscing because
you too, right? Because college was like open. It was like
Well, no. Well, no. But
bedroom.
okay. So I blame my. See, I gotta take accountability for myself, right? Because I did go to a bitch ass Christian church, and it really, I really
you
allowed
doing
myself
so
to be
good.
Come on, Stan, you trigger me right now, man. Because look, college, man. Look, especially at age like 20 and 21, that was like my prime, and I wasted most of my prime years, right, trying to like be fully devoted to these ugly ducklings. Even though, however, right, I still had to, what I mean, like get giggity with it, right, with a few other women in the world. That's all they call it. But I didn't get a chance to fully.
So hold on, real quick. When you say ugly duckers, what are we talking about? Like,
we just talking about
4 or?
Oh no, we're talking about like
M3.
We're talking about like
M3.
ones and threes.
M3.
Damn.
Yeah, there was like ones and threes, but it was exclusively in bitch ass Christian church, right? Not the
wildebeest.
Yeah. Look, I've seen church playing church girls from other churches, right? And they look way better than that. But it just that particular church with a whole bunch of like old ass. Anyways, right? We're not even going to talk about them no more, right? The world beasts. But the point is, right? So in college, right? I mean, like I said, man, like at women, it was like super loyal. It was respectful. Look, I was like the biggest homosexual before even the concept of being a homosexual was.
Shout out to you, man.
You know what I mean? Talking about like
you're trying to get a free meal and get flown out, huh?
No, I don't do the flying, right?
No, I'm saying you was trying to get flown out.
Hey, they wanted to try to get flown out. Look, they was ready to pay for my lunches, my dinners, all that type of stuff. Anything I asked for, a different woman got it. Where it been Samoan, where it been was it Latinos back then? No, I don't think it was Latinos back then, but it was Filipinos, Samoans, and my beautiful queens, the Black sisters, right? But now, like in one of my other jobs, right? There was a nice black skin woman, okay, that was filming. But by then, I was already in a relationship. So I mean, now she's married. Now she got 2 kids. Now she got the Latina body that that most of them have. Like once they have all these kids and stuff. So I mean, unfortunately, like I lucked out. You know what I mean? But she was fine as hell, but it just wasn't meant to be.
You said built like a Capri Sun.
Yeah. Then I had another person, right? She was African, but like in a Latina, African Latina, and it was something else, right? Basically, she was like a mutt, but I could tell she was feeling me. But unfortunately, we went to that church, and I was still in a relationship. But I think like if I had hold off and waited, I probably would have. I wouldn't be able to choose her because there was always somebody that if they like that person and they was a part of leadership, they already thought that hey, like I was going, this is for me.
Yeah, they'll block you. They'll block you.
So you said leadership in there. They was snatching them up.
Yeah, they'll block you. They'll build their hair.
So they put like this. The whole purpose
like,
look, man. Yeah, the whole purpose of leadership in the church was basically to get like Christian hoes. But the
so leadership was pretty much like they were scouting. Time they came through the door, leadership is like, look, the 10s, 9s, and 8s, they come over to us.
Right.
You get the straps. Bolo about to come in here.
Yeah, Bolo about to cuss us out. Bolo, I had nothing to do with this, Bolo. They kidnapped me.
Oh my Lord!
All right, let's go back to what's this next video? Is this Sierra? The one you got queued up? Yeah. Right, so I know she's gonna start talking about what she defines self-love. So what we're trying to see is the consistency and what people define it as. So Stan, you got to break it down for us and let us know if this is self-love, self-care, self-bullshit, whatever.
Right. So let me go ahead and play the video.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that was Sierra. Okay.
Sierra looking like Jada Pinkett on Poetic Justice.
Right.
The one thing that I learned on my course of life, and especially through the tough times, is that the greatest gift we can give ourselves is self-love.
And I believe, especially being a mom and a wife, I just feel good about myself when I like take care of me. Like, when it's simple things like whether it's like washing my face routinely. I like walking around feeling put together, because otherwise you will feel like life is super chaotic, because it really is. It's organized chaos. When I'm also feeling good and looking good, I just thrive more. Like I really feel like, man, like I'm doing it all. The one thing.
So washing your ass now is self-love, Stan?
That's self-care.
So I'm starting to see like there's really no like good definition of this shit.
No, because here's something, right? You can call it self-love, but it's actually on that one is marketing as self-love, but it's actually self-care, because if you are fighting depression, for example, right? There's times you're not going to get up and wash your face. You're not going to get up and brush your teeth. You're not going to wipe your ass, right? You're not going to because you're depressed, right? Depressed is more than just sadness. Depressed is like, it's an emotion that's not, depression comes in a place where you did not expect it. Everything in your life is going good, and all of a sudden you just turned off. You had no control over it. So for her, she's actually practicing self-care. And also when she said like organize, disorganize, organize, or whatever she said about that right there, I see that she also practiced gratitude. And gratitude is something that you need to do to fight negative thoughts and emotions about yourself, where you just have to be thankful for like the little stuff that you have, because then you don't think of like everything is against you. So like, for instance, somebody said they don't have no money, but I'm like, but you have a job, right? Because you don't get this stuff that you want, but right now you have a job and you're able to do A, B, C, and D. You might not be able to get down to what you want on the G level or H. Give it some time, but right now your job helps pay for all this stuff. So be grateful for your job. So for her, she's grateful for all the stuff that's going on, because she's a mother of 4 now, right?
Yeah,
they just had their third. He's locked in. She's smart. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Have these anchor babies. Anchor in that relationship. Just go ahead.
You said lock them in, huh?
Lock them in. That's what they used to do.
And she got Social Security, her retirement funds, Roth IRA, all that.
Don't care when she gets older. She got a choice of picking 4 out
of So far, after 2 videos, we got stand in the mirror naked for self-love, and we got wash your ass
thoroughly.
That's Jay.
Self-love ain't looking too great out here. I try to tell y'all what it was, man. It's looking more and more like my definition is correct. But we got another one. Oh, go ahead, pull that one up. Who is this? Tia?
Oh Lord.
He's like the
oh shoot, one of my homeboys made a comment too, but we're gonna read a comment after we hear this bullshit.
Oh shit, what'd he say?
He said a lot of women at age 40 to 45 reach a mental charge. They hurt everyone around them and they can't hold their own emotions. Damn.
What's that?
He said
G's up originator?
Though. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Still to homie though. All right.
Yeah, he went in on her.
Oh shoot. Damn, I should run this back.
Dynamic of having a mom and a dad in one household. And when you're dropping your kids off, you actually visually see how that is no longer. Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her. But that's just not where we are right now. I've always wanted the family dynamic of it.
You hear that part in the beginning? I always wanted to have a family dynamic. Yeah. Okay, listen to that, right? I always want to have a family dynamic. I want you guys to hold that real quick because there's another video, okay, about Tia. We'll go back to it. But just remember that first part that she says, that she always wanted to have a family dynamic.
With the mom and the dad.
With the mom, yes, with the mom and the dad together as a unit.
And don't forget the part where she threw her sister under the bus too.
Poor Tamara. But we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Didn't she say like her and her sister are no longer close or something like that?
Right. You know.
So it's like, when the fuck is Tia gonna start waking up and be like, she's the problem? Like, your own twin sister, you got issues? You got issues with your man? Like, I'm sorry.
Wait. Hold on. Let me get to the next video. Right?
It just irritated me.
We're gonna go in. That's why I want you guys to pause.
Yeah, apologize.
No, you good. All right. All right, fair use on this one. All right, here we go. Again, this is your divorce graduate, however you want to call her. Anyways,
when she said she graduated from divorce or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
We talking about actress Tia Mowry. Now she said her dating life ain't chef. She left her husband for no good reason. Left a good man and broke up her family for no good reason. You don't say. Karma is real, huh, Tia? You deserve loneliness and misery. Good luck. Let's bless.
Damn.
We talking about actress Tia Mowry. Now she said her dating life ain't chef. She left her husband for no good reason. Left a good man and broke up her family for no good reason. You don't say. Karma is real, huh, Tia? You deserve loneliness and misery. Good
grief. Okay. No, that was real. And the link is in the YouTube chat, so I'll definitely make sure I pin that to the top for you guys.
So let me ask y'all. So on Tia, because I definitely have my sentiments on her, but I'm just saying, like, based on kind of what he said, do y'all think that she is in that place of like misery and stuff like that? But of course, she's got to kind of jump out there and put on this charade. But do you think she is having a level of regret and she is miserable?
I mean, she here's the thing, right? She's posting everything on social media, and I get it. She's broke, so she needs more money, right? And she has to capitalize on Corey's name at this point because that's the only income that she's probably getting besides maybe some type of residuals from sister. I mean, who knows? Anyways, the point is that Tia ain't got nothing better going on after the divorce. And that's why, like, okay, with that show, which that's gonna put some money in her pocket just a little bit, that's why she gotta capitalize on the fact that, well, we had I always wanted this nice family dynamic, but I don't have that anymore. But you're the one who broke that. You're the one who broke that up. See, you thought that whoever told you in the sister group, right? That told you that, hey, like, you could do better by yourself. You're the one that's carrying, like, the weight on for Corey Hardrick. That guy, he's a broke bum. He's unsuccessful in his acting career. You didn't foresee, like, man, this dude probably would have had. Well, I'll put it like this. I think she did him a favor when she did file for the divorce, because I don't think he would have got that part for Divorce in Black, which I need to go see that movie, by the way. But anyways, by her doing that to him, and he decided, like, okay, well, look, it's time for me to kind of get back on the grind of things, and he capitalized on that opportunity. And she's seeing that, okay, man, this dude's making more than her now. And man, he's on the high rise. It's like she pretty much like prematurely like discarded someone that was already right for her. See, women don't appreciate like a man that is right for them until they themselves become more successful than what they were like in the marriage. If that makes sense.
Can I say something? I know a lot of times people make fun of the house husbands, right? I think like when you're in a family and you have children, and then you're the one like out here and you're doing your thing and is successful, and he's staying back to take care of the kids and the family. And this is the whole thing, like when you quote unquote have it all, it does require two parents. And I think it's a shame that to look and say that he wasn't successful. I'm like, yo, like he made sure that your family was intact while they had several reality shows. She has done several movies. She went ahead and did The Game twice or 3 times. That show been revived. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was able to do what you needed to do and what you wanted to do because he stayed back. And this is a lot of times, and also when they got a divorce, he didn't even want the money. She was like, they divorced where that neither one would give out money. And it's like, yo, like, he didn't even want your money. So he didn't cheat. He didn't marry you for the money. I mean, he was working behind the scenes. He done other stuff in other movies. Like, you gotta put respect on that man's name, ladies. You just can't, you know. And also, it's disrespectful too, because now that she divorced, y'all's backing her up with the divorce. Now y'all want access to her man, calling him the next Denzel Washington. Really?
Oh, okay. Damn, they gave him that title. Shit.
I mean, now since he's making that money,
But
he's got a contract for like $50 million.
Denzel Washington, though, M3, Denzel Washington got movies that he's showing range of acting.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good actor. I seen him in that one, but I mean, he's when you would have slapped the Denzel label on him, he got to have a portfolio of at least like 10, 20 blockbusters or something. Like you can't just throw it on him. But I think the thing with Tia right now, man, I agree with both what you guys were saying, and I think a lot of times, man, it's weird. I was just telling somebody the other day, man. I think when people sometimes have status, say for like Tia, I think with her mind is still stuck when she was young. Like she had, like, I'll say the leverage, she was in her prime. I think she was thinking like, hey, I could jump out here and I could find another Corey just as quick. Where it's just like, man, I don't think that's the case. And I think that's what she's running into, where it's just like, she thought she was going to be able to replace him like super fast, you know, a dude. Cause I mean, just think where she's kind of at, man, you know, successful. So it's like, okay, I would have, huh?
You ready for this one?
No. I'm just, hold on. Let me break it down. And so I just think huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think with her, man, she's not kind of reflecting in, she's having issues with her sister. Cause I think, man, she's looking at her sister still have her family unit. She still, you know, she puts her family first, where she can't just come at her sister's aid and stuff. She got kids. And I think she's definitely showcasing now, like she's very self-centered, because it's almost like, hey, you're supposed to be over here with me now that I don't have no family. And her sister's like, you know, I got my family and shit. Like I can't kick it with you. So I just know two twins ain't gonna have like no issues like that, you know. So that's why I'm saying it's like she's constantly trying to market her relationships, the misery in that. So yeah, at this point, it's like it's definitely her that's the issue. Yeah. But go ahead, Stan.
All right,
salute, comrade. Thanks for tuning in.
Salute, brothers. How you all doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
Chilling. How you been, man?
So here's the thing, and again, I feel so sorry for the church. Tia and Tamara are very strong, devout Christians. Number one, all right. Number two,
you said Christians.
Yes. They were part of.
that makes sense.
No, they were part of. You know, similar to the organization we were in. They were in the Hollywood branch.
What are they like? Jehovah's Witnesses though?
No, they were part of that Hollywood church branch of our organization. There's a church that's like everybody in Hollywood attends.
Yeah, man, why you say organization like you was in a mafia, man?
I said because they very organized.
Y'all catch that?
Yeah,
he said that like he dropped his voice down. He's like, yo, man, when I was in an organization and stuff, he looked down at the ground and
shit.
Don't kill me.
Had me shook. I'm about to drop off this live. You nervous like that, Stan? I'll dip on y'all.
But here's the thing, right? They had access to a lot of men growing up. She picked who she picked because that's what she wanted. And also, the guy's not a bad guy. He was also a go-getter, right? So they were similar, I say yoked, because they're not going to a P. Diddy party, and they left at 10 o'clock or 10 p.m., right? They're not going to try and go to no after party or nothing like that. Their lives was pretty much set. What happened is this, right? If both of you guys are Christian and you guys know this, and you step away from your relationship with no cause, right? A lot of times you do have to take a break from that person because, like, yo, you're destroying your relationship, and I don't want you to bring that same spirit, attitude, energy into my relationship. So there's going to be a time period where it's going to be a break. It's going to be like, no, we can't do this. And a lot of times, if you look at the reality show, Tia always have left Tamara holding the bad on everything. So their relationship have always been Tia just been walking over her sister, just stepping over her sister. At one point, when Tamara was getting married, Tamara didn't want Tia there, and didn't
Damn,
want
so she
her.
got Tamara bitter.
Because because Tia does a lot of stuff where a lot of times with twins,
Was she like the center of attention somewhat?
yeah, and just don't care. She's gonna get it her way and do anything she want. It wasn't like these women didn't have access, right? Here's something about choices, right? When women say they don't want to settle, either way, right? If you don't pick, life will go ahead and pick for you. And what life has to pick for you later on in life is nothing. Like Ellis Ross, she has nothing to pick from right now. She can still pick me though, but we got to have some other women in there.
Yeah, Ella Ross
Go
got
on
a
and tell the
wagon on her.
truth, brother.
Somebody
Go
go
on and tell
scoop
the
her
truth.
up. Like, you tripping,
but no, because she's like 53, 54, right? So she's complaining, but I'm like, yo, like, you had access to everything coming your way. Your mom is Diana Ross. You got these rich stepfathers, and the last one was a billionaire. You have choices, but you have to make a choice. And that's what a lot of times these women are not thinking is like, yo, you have to make a choice. And then when you make that choice, you got to make peace with your choice, and you got to cultivate your family. Her family was already intact. He did not want to leave. He wanted to work out. He did think about the kids.
And real quick, when you said something, what is like make peace with your choice? Because are you saying that they feel like they settling? You feel like they're settling in their mind?
That's an insult with the word settling, right?
No, I'm just saying because that's how it sounds like that's how they're viewing it. So is that how they're viewing it? The females.
No options. Have you seen the women in LA? Like, I be looking at people like, are you serious? Like, especially in California, a black man dating a black woman. When I see black people together, I'm like, how'd this happen? This is a brand new relationship. Even I sometimes be thinking, well, my parents is white, but one of them is mixed though. But I be thinking,
what is it that rare out there now?
Yeah, it's been like that for like decades. But you see two black people get together on purpose, like, oh, y'all not siblings? Y'all actually love each other? Oh my God.
Go ahead, Conrad.
But they fought for that. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real for a minute. Like, I'm in my heel season, so I'm swinging steel chairs and I'm hitting whoever it hits. Like, I'm not gonna try and save you from what you chose. You sat up here. You said what wasn't good enough for you. You dictated the terms and the outcome. You were judge, jury, and executioner. And now I'm supposed to. And now the men that you claim you really want, that you said aren't good enough, are supposed to get up and come save you. No. Take that chair shot to the head and make peace with your choice. Like, I find it funny how she's trying. Like, I put it in the comments. I can't wait to see in the next year what this girl gonna look like when nobody cares about hearing about her divorce, because they're gonna realize my man said he cried himself to sleep. He still sees his kids. He got the bag. And he's probably, and if we know how Hollywood works, now that he got 75 mil from Tyler, nobody else can't come to him with anything less than 60 mil. So he's gonna be getting the bag for a hot minute, and he does not have to be monogamous now. He will, because that's who he is at his core. He's not the runaround type. Now she wants to sit there and cry about, oh, she wants a family and she wanted to give her. You had that, you wrecked it because you listened to your friends. So if you want to buy into indoctrination, where no matter where you are, the workplace, the church, the college, the school, your mama's house, your auntie's house, your grandmama's house, you gonna have to make peace with that choice and deal with it. Because I'm not about to throw out my cereal because you don't like your spilt milk. I'm sorry. It's like, we men are up, bro. Like,
and you know, these women here in California and also Atlanta, Georgia, and also and if you go to Canada to shoot, right, these non-black women, I'm gonna say that, non-black women, they will go ahead, be part of his family, get him pregnant, get him some new kids, and give him a new life. They have a plan. Y'all just want to go on dates and be and having caviar and lobsters and all this other crazy stuff like y'all on Dynasty. These women coming in trying to have a legacy up in here. You guys gotta like, and this is everybody, like when you don't make choices in your life, life will make choices for you and people will make choices for you. And you gotta realize that. That's like, please understand that. You just being stagnant and you being picky and everything else, okay, life is gonna make the choices for you. Like
So
divorce,
Stan,
you don't sign that prenup agreement, guess what? The government got your prenup ready for you.
So Stan, are you saying that like a non-black single mother with like a bunch of kids will make the choice for me to marry her?
Let me help you out with that. She'll go ahead and she'll get you that casserole. And one time y'all go ahead and watch Netflix and you're going to do more than chill. You're going to go ahead and give her that Twinkie love full of cream. And next thing you know, you're the stepfather. Welcome to your new family.
This is your life.
Keep playing them games if you want to. You will get a prize at the end. But go ahead. Go
Honestly, Stan, like, I mean, look, I know you're serious, but I don't really see that happening, man.
Oh,
like,
you
I
ready
don't.
for it? Guess what? If you are a working man, right, and you got like income, and I don't care what none of these women on these panels say, you pay more than what the government is paying in welfare. You got more money than the government paying welfare. You can get them into a place that's better than Section 8. You are going to be baby daddy and husband number 1, baby daddy number 5. Guess what? You're locked in. Now you got them stepkids counting you, papa, and everything else. You are locked in.
Well, hold on, Stan, right? Look. I don't agree as far as with the whole upgrade thing in the apartment, because look, I'm in a 1-bedroom, and most women that lives in that's utilizing governmental assistance, they got like 4-bedroom apartments for the price of like maybe $1,000 or under.
Did you not know with Section 8 you can go ahead and buy a house? You think they don't know the resources out there?
Man, we ain't about to talk about no damn Section 8.
I'm just saying, no, seriously, there's no welfare right now. I mean, there's no projects, right? SJ, D-Real, I don't know if you're in California or not. In California, we don't really have projects. Our like is low income.
Yeah, y'all got like housing neighborhoods. Y'all stuff is confusing out there.
Yeah, it's very strategic. They got rid of the projects.
Up here in Canada, they did the same thing, right? So a lot of the single mothers that are getting housed by the government, they're actually in townhouses and condos, and they're in good subdivision neighborhoods. So like their egos super inflated.
Oh, bro.
But guess what happens though, right? The minute that child turns 18, you have to go to a smaller unit, because guess what? Those other units that's around, they're market based. Sometimes they are like, so there's a difference between like this HUD, which is housing urban development. There's also market based rent, income based. So like everything is mixed up because they don't want to have the same type of environment, and also it's owned by corporations. So a lot of times you're getting like monthly inspections because they're protecting the property. And so when there's a change within the family unit and somebody wants to move out, or you're kicking out a child, and the next year is like, okay, you don't qualify for 4-bedroom, we gotta move you down to a 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom. Guess what? That's not stability. A lot of times, guess what? You got the job. And here's something. I know ladies are just, what's up, I am. But some of you ladies, right? The vision of the man money, that's not realistic. So there's something that men do with work-life balance. We do overtime that could balance our lives. We go ahead and work 2 jobs like it's nothing because we need the money, right? We need the money because we don't trust one job for everything. Because we know what happens when you trust one job, right? All of us on panel, we know that, right? We either got a job on the side, or we got little hobbies that we're doing to get money. And you know what? That's what I also learned from New Yorkers. You and me, a doctor in New York, but he also has a farm on the weekends he go to. New Yorkers taught me to have like 2 hustles always, right? New York was a good, New York was a good.
Can I express my
look?
My working like wake
You're
up
gonna
call.
get got. You're going to get got.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me explain this, right? And I'm gonna get to you.
Papa. That's your name, Papa M3.
Yeah. Hey, don't. Let me explain my employee wake up call, right? You know how old people be saying Negro wake up call, but my employee wake up call. Two incidents, right? Where I got like pretty much fired. Now, of course, I have amazing work ethic, but there's some
Not according to your boss that fired you. But continue with your story.
right.
I don't like you. I don't like you.
So I used to work in this bread factory, where at the time I didn't know the concept between working smart and working hard. There was this young white dude at the time. Well, he was a little older, but anyways, this dude taught me like, hey, like man, like you working too hard, man. You gotta learn how to work smart, man, because if you learn how to work smart, you'll be able to strain your body less or put your mind into something that's going to help generate better income as opposed to what you're doing right now. Because me, like, man, I was like a sprained chicken, like, man, like 23 or something. I'm just running all over the place, skipping and hopping, serving bread, blase. And then one moment I had crashed out. I fell asleep during my lunch break, and it was 2 hours later, me waking up. I fell asleep to my alarm clock in the car. Yeah. So maybe, who knows? Maybe I probably passed out somewhere, but whatever. The fact is that I came back, and then I explained to my manager, this is what happened, man. And it'll never happen again. And then I got the call the next day, and it was like, hey, man, they fired you because you fell asleep. I was like, fuck y'all, man. It's all good. That's when I learned the concept. It's like, okay, I learned better now to not be such a hard worker, but be a smart worker. Another incident where never rely on another coworker to do the job for you. So at the time, like I was a DSP, a direct support professional at this company or whatever, and I was taking care of
So incident 1, I definitely would have fired you. So I'm just seeing if like incident 2 lines up, and if I would fire you on incident 2. So we're 1-0 right now. I definitely would have fired you on the first incident. So go ahead.
Oh damn, bro!
Keep us
no
going.
chances.
The COO let them have breaks outside of the building. That's the COO fault. He had made that a possibility to take breaks outside of the building.
Yeah, but we don't. But at the time, we don't. Our breaks are still with our clients, so they'll give us like a 15-minute. I'm surprised it was 15 minutes. Should have been 30, but they give us a 15-minute paid lunch because we only have 15 minutes to actually.
15 minutes for lunch?
Yeah, 15 minutes for lunch. I know. Look, it was a shifty type of company, man.
He was in a sweatshop, G. That's a sweatshop. That ain't no job, man.
Look.
They had collars around your ankles.
Nah. But hold on. Let me continue the story. So again, we didn't have like our own personalized like lunch break where we could be to ourselves. So using the restroom was pretty tough. You had to rely on your coworkers to maybe watch 2 clients while you use the restroom, and your boy had to go, okay, and it took a minute. But I specifically asked his coworker. I was like, hey, I need you to watch this guy for me, right? Because he's a runner. He'll escape. He'll go all over the place.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
She's like, I got you. Mm-hmm. Not even paying attention to what I'm saying, but I'm thinking that when she's nodding her head like, yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Had the guy sit next to her. I come out, feeling 10 pounds lighter, and I'm asking her, where did the guy go? And she was like, huh? I was like, oh, I didn't know you asked me to watch him. And I was like, Jesus, right? And what made it worse, the higher up, my boss was there, and the higher ups was having a conference meeting at that time when he escaped. So luckily, and I'm driving around, I'm searching all over for him. I could not find this dude. Like he literally ran out through the building. So luckily, my boss went to Target, which was like maybe like a mile away. That guy ran so far, yes, he ran all the way to Target, and he found him. And yeah, man, it was.
And you got fired.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh,
So based on this last story, I did feel a little bit of like sentiment for your situation, but I definitely would have fired you. 240. Like, get out of here.
You know what the messed up part was? Like I
I
filed
would
for
have fired him on
unemployment.
Christmas.
Okay, Scrooge. But the messed up part was like I filed for unemployment. They took me to court to try to stop the unemployment. I was like, oh hell no, right? Now we're like, we're throwing the gloves off. And they was trying to get me on 3 accounts as if it happened on on the same day for them to try to give the judge a reason for them to fire me. Some I was on my phone or whatever, because a co-worker kind of ratted me out or whatever, right? They said, oh, he was on the phone this same day. He let the client go. Then he came late to work by like 5 minutes. So that was like their excuse of why they was firing me. And keep in mind, that was not all in the same day. That was like maybe 1 month that happened, and the next month, and that month. Sometimes you have like your bad days or whatever. You can't be perfect all the time. And as far as the phone call situation, the person was calling me. I didn't call them, but when that person called me, I was like, hey, look, I'm at work. I can't talk right now. I'm busy. You know what I mean? And the guy took it upon himself to try to say, like, man, I was on my cell phone and I shouldn't be doing this at the time when you're working with these clients.
But you see, actually, this one, SJ, this is also a COO movement bad because why wasn't the place locked down, no alarm, and where was the security guard?
Why y'all always trying to dodge accountability for y'all shitty work ethic?
So I'm just trying to.
This ain't about that today.
If I have sensitive,
I am. You see this like dodging? Now he's blaming the corporation for their protocols and their safetiness.
Yeah. The corporation didn't do a good job.
But Stan does have a good point, though.
That's not how that works.
Oh damn!
But all right, let me get IM in here, and I do want to circle back to Conrad after that. But what's your take on that whole Tia Mowry situation? Is she self-centered? Is she right to practice her self-love and go out there and separate
I want to
for
get
her
her
husband?
thoughts about just self-love, like in general, because I don't know nothing about self-love, what that means to me.
Oh, thank you. Is that for me? Well, thank you so much. Okay, so Tia and Tamara. Oh, I love it. Tia and Tamara. The first thing is that they're in the worst dating market for Black women. LA is the worst dating environment for Black women specifically. Fun fact, and I have to be with Stan on this.
Oh,
you
Stan
do
was
not see
right?
Black couples in LA. I'm sorry?
Wait,
I said Stan was actually right.
He was right. And fun fact,
shit.
you guys,
Shout out to
very
Stan.
fun fact. My dad is a Black man. My mom is a Black woman, but when they met, he thought she was a white woman because she's kind of like what they call in those days, like passing. And her best friend, my auntie Kelly, is blonde. So they were out, and my mom was with Kelly. So he thought he saw a blonde and a brunette. But my mom is in fact a Black woman. She has a Black parent and a white parent. So, but yeah. So even like the relationship I come from, it is a Black couple relationship and marriage, but it was intended to be something interracial. But
it's rare.
Yeah,
it's so rare. It's rare.
Yeah, it's rare.
I didn't know that about LA, but okay.
It's super rare.
And it's super superficial, just as an environment as well. And so people are literally valued by the way that they look. And people in other cities find it so weird when I tell them that it's not like other cities where if you pay to get into a place, you can just walk right in. You are a patron. You stand in a line and people pick you out based on how you look or how much they think you have if you're a guy. So I think where she is the much of her difficulty with dating post-divorce. Self-love.
Yeah, what the hell is self-love?
This is difficult for men, right? Because men, even the good ones, see women as objects and or accessories to them. So a lot of men don't see a woman as a whole person. They think that women are really created to be in relation to them. So if a woman is not in relation to them, like, what is she doing? Why does she exist? What is her purpose in life? Is she even like, should we let her continue to breathe? And I see that a lot, especially with regard to my journey. So I think that when a woman comes out of a relationship, or she has this self-love talk and she's focused on herself, and and not a man or her man or ex-husband or whatever, that's very difficult for guys because they feel very left out of that, which I understand. But self-love has everything to do with understanding yourself as a woman, as a person. I don't want to use the word independent, but independent of a man. So it's just you. We come into this world alone. We leave the world alone. We leave the world alone as well. So, a woman who says she's focusing on self-love, it's no diss. I don't want you guys to take it like that. It's about her and not so much about you guys.
I think it was always about, you guys, I mean, even whether if you're in relationships with men or out of relationships. I mean, in society, unfortunately, I don't really see where men actually have a benefit or even have the tools to, I don't know, create like this self-love type of image or this self-love type of feeling where it's like validating. We're just born to like serve you guys like slaves. So that's the way.
But let me ask I am a quick question.
Okay.
Because I appreciate your perspective.
Yeah, definitely, for sure though.
Because it's, like I said, it is good to get female side of the house. Because but how long should this journey of self-love go?
That will vary based on the woman, and it'll happen at different times in a woman's life. And women are they sacrifice so much for men, especially women who are in marriages and also mothers, right? For their men, for their family, etc. That sometimes they find it necessary to separate during that. But there's no like time limit on it.
I'm going to say just a quick sidebar.
Hold on. I'll let you go. See, I'll go. Just
same thing, right? It's called a midlife crisis, and men are selfish. No. When men go through changes, too.
Yes, they do. That's fair. That's true.
And I've been with the same woman, and I've been dealing with these bratty ass kids and cooking and cleaning after I come in from work, and I don't have no savings. And you know what? I'm balding. I better head and get this sports car and do something for myself. I can love myself. And for men, it's when they hit the midlife crisis, there's no celebration, right? Men get chastised that they dooming the family and everything else, and men get put down, and men are not able to express when they go through changes. I just want to put that out there. Not saying anything that you said is wrong, but like it's like there's really nothing for men to do except to accept life for what it is. And maybe someday you might leave the wife and the family before they leave you, and you might get some peace in heaven.
I think that's fair.
Okay, Lola, I have a question to ask, right?
I think Conrad could be next. I see Conrad's.
Conrad.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Hi, Conrad. I never met you, Conrad. It's nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise, I love your voice.
I like the setup, Conrad.
Oh, thank you, sir. I've been working on some stuff back here. Yes, I am. God, peace and blessings and love to you. I'm Canadian born. My background and my family is Jamaican, and I'm glad for that. You want to know why?
Why?
Because from the day I was 3, all the women in my family, if anybody has Jamaicans or any type of Caribbean folk, West Indies folk in your family, your grandmother, your auntie, your mama, they would have all said one simple thing to let you know exactly where you stand in the place in the eyes of women worldwide. Boy, get up and go do something.
Get off your
You see that phrase right there? See that phrase right there? It's 12 o'clock. It's your summer holiday. Right? You can't wake up late. You can go to bed late as you want. You can go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, play video games, but as soon as that sun hits at 7 a.m., you got to be up. That's the expectation. Now, why am I saying that? Is because in our culture as Jamaicans, our women have told us from the day we were 3 and let us know very plainly, if you are not useful to us, you are not useful to be around, whether you're our son or you're our man. So in this day and time now, when we fast forward and women are talking about self-love and sacrificing, I have 2 questions. Is this your experience based on bad choices and bad relationships that you should have never been in the first place? Or are you trauma tribing? Not you, I am, but this is a general question, because
that's a good question.
being 40, I see a lot of vitriol perpetuated from a modern woman's standpoint, and some of it may be valid, some of it may be shared anecdotal experiences, and that is completely fine. However, there is a level of trauma tribing. There's a level of that sisterhood yoking that is toxic, and it keeps especially Black women single. You're not going to find the perpetual Black man that you want to find because you have trauma tribed against him. And it's not your when I say trauma tribing, it means that you've literally joined your grandmother's your grandmother's issues or contempt, or your mom's issues. So your daddy cheated on your mom. Oh, all men are, all men are this, all men are that. Your girlfriend went through this with her man. Oh, these men ain't good. These men, all these men, they ain't shit. It's trauma tribing. You join the tribe of the trauma and you do it, one, based on genealogical makeup, biological makeup, and then there's that code. But you know what the thing is that code's not going to defend you, right? That code is the same code for most women that will literally go against you and try to steal the good man that you worked with. And then they're going to tell you that you weren't good enough to keep him, because if you were good enough to keep him, she wouldn't have been able to take you. That's your sisterhood. That's your trauma tribe. So this whole aspect of self-love is actually foolish, because really and truly, as grown individuals, as adults, functional adults in this world, women, you graduate at a rate almost 2 times or 5 times more than men. You outnumber us and outpace us in college and university applications. And with that, you are now on set in certain atmospheres actually making more money than men. So your self-care and self-love, I'm sorry to say this, it should have been done long before you chose to yoke with a man that actually probably wasn't going to in any way be what you needed him to be, because you chose wrong, because you thought that you being a provider was enough to make him a house husband. And no man is ever going to be enough to be a house husband.
But okay, comrade, but I have a question about this part, right? Now, can anybody give me just like a clear example, just based off of actions, that is deemed as self-love? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't look based off of actions, I don't even know what actions to take that will help identify that I'm loving myself. You know what I mean? I mean, we could get confused of like, okay, well, these women, they're overachieving, they're getting all these accolades, and that could probably be presumptuous as of self-love, but I don't really know.
I don't think that's
self-care.
I agree with Stan. I heard his explanation earlier. I have nothing to add on it. It's self-care. It's really good self-care. It's great self-care, but it's self-care. It's not self-love.
Yeah.
Because if it was self-love, they wouldn't go back to they wouldn't say, well, Stan's a good guy, but I like young 50 Cent that will, you know what I mean, bring drugs in the house and be sitting there and telling me to whip it up. But he's my type. Self-love is making the best choice possible when you don't have issues. That's how I look at it. If I love myself, I'm not going to put myself in a position to lose, even if that's my type. If I really love myself, I love myself. And there's some of my boys to this day that I wish we could remain close, but for the sake of where I'm trying to go in life, because I love myself, you can't rock with me and I can't rock with you. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. We just can't rock out. And before something happens where it becomes detrimental, let me self-love at a distance.
So
I
I
give
am. What would
one-
you?
I give
Hold
one
on.
example.
Let me get I am real quick, because I want to see what
Mhm.
if she has an example of what she would consider like self love. Or is it you? I know you kind of mentioned earlier where it's like separating from like I'll say some negativity, or
Yeah.
when you
It's
mentioned
taking
like
time.
females as far as like having all the responsibilities. So maybe is it shedding the responsibilities?
Yeah, taking time and space for yourself to focus on yourself, pouring back into yourself. You're giving, to others, to the man, to the family all the time. You might need some for yourself. And so self-love can look like pouring deeper into one's spiritual practice. It could look like focusing on your appearance and or your health, and kind of giving yourself more time and allocating more resources to do that. Or like something that you love to do but you didn't have time to do because you were raised in this family. Returning to music for some women, it could be a number of things. So those are all self-love examples that I had to share.
I actually kind of like that because, okay, so sister, I am imagine. Well, okay, just imagine this was a cup. Okay, I know this is phone, but imagine that for years you've been pouring out to this man, this individual for a long time, and your cup was once full, but you're pouring your love, you're pouring your time and attention, you're pouring the needs, and then you have kids, and you're pouring out like all like everything that's a part of you to
Mhm.
make sure that your household, your family, and then maybe your friends and your mother, father, whatever. You're just making sure everyone's taken care of.
Mhm.
By the time you have poured out so much, now your cup is empty, and you're at a space now. It's like you can't give anymore because
Yeah.
you're walking around as an empty cup, and you got to Stan. I see that look. Don't mess me up, all right?
Why is
But
But
Dan laughing?
because what you guys describe is self-care. Because
Yeah,
the
I
cup
think
is empty, because you're not taking care of yourself. And I
right.
mentioned earlier, right? Like if you like getting back to music and doing stuff like that is self-care. I'll give you an example of self-love. We have to go to the mother of self-love, and that will
Mhm.
be Oprah.
Oprah,
She's
Shout
the
wow,
out to
mother of
Oprah.
self-love. She's the mother of self-love. She's the one that started this self-love, self-care, self-awareness, and abundance, and affirmations and everything else, right? The fact
mm,
that she can do this, and at the same time, although she's not married to Stedman, not legally, but they still together, helping Gail raise her children. It's not the fact that you always give to yourself, but you also give to others and make sure that you still can give and you still take care of your community. She's a good example of self-love, because self-love is not being selfish, it's not being self-centered.
It
She's also
absolutely is selfish.
no, but her, because Oprah would take accountability. Because that's
so
the
that's
whole
just
thing.
love
Stedman's a
without
side
the
piece.
A rich
Shout out to
one and a
Stedman.
house husband. She got that man his own mansion,
I
and
mean, that's
Yeah,
two-story
her
mansion.
contract husband.
side piece.
But
Side
look,
piece.
but either place, right? That man have his own accolades. He's a professor. He owns businesses and he runs it, right? What she does, I know. Like last time, we didn't get a chance to talk about it with that doctor that met up with Newton, and she said that Stedman was low value but high functioning, which is also insultive. Like Stedman have his own money, but
Yeah, no,
he
Stephanie's
loves
good, but
yeah,
yeah.
but he loves Oprah, and Oprah does not want to get married or whatever, and that's something they still build their relationship. It does not make it any less, and that's one thing you can learn from someone like a Gail or Oprah is this whole thing accepting the stages in your life, not being selfish about it, but also at the same time having gratitude for it and still growing. Because no matter how old these women are, they still grow. Like it's still something to learn,
Yes.
but But while they're on this path, they're not being self-destructive or destroying their families and destroying friendships and relationships. A lot of times I have to challenge when somebody said they're in self-love, not to them personally, because like it's something I have to fight within myself. Because what I see a lot of times is a destructive path that's taking place. And I'm just like, yo, who are you seeing? Who is coaching you? And who is this person that you quote unquote you seen as a therapist? Or who are these self-books that you're reading? Because mental health wise, if you don't have a community to support you, you're not doing good. You got to have resources. And when people always talk about resources in these panels, everyone's thinking about money. Money is just money. What we gone through with C-19 and a shutdown, people needed more than money. People was like dying for connection. So now that we out of it, we going right back to the same program. And I'm like, yo, y'all didn't learn from what we went through 2 years ago when people was like hiding toilet paper and stealing toilet paper and hijacking, the containers at the shipyard.
Dan, can I piggyback off of something you're saying? Because the example, like if somebody's in a relationship, they figure out self-care. I agree. That's not self-centered, but say like in Tia's case where she has to separate for the relationship to get like her self-love and find herself. It is self-centered because it's just like, what about that other person that has to hold the responsibility too? Because maybe they need some self-love. So shouldn't they separate also? So that's why I'm saying that's where it starts getting tricky. I see what everybody's saying. It's like, you do gotta like, figure out things to, whether it's go to the gym, whatever, but it just sounds like people have a problem multitasking to a certain degree.
And also, realistically, you have children. Everybody talking about these kids, like the kids are a burden. I'm like, whoa, hold on for a minute. The job of a child is to grow. The job that you have with that child is to train them. As when the kids get older, they get more responsibilities. I'm with Conrad. My parents also Caribbean. There's like, they ain't treat me like I was the same when I became 10 when I was 5. If you're a helicopter mom and doing all this crazy stuff, you're burning yourself out. Like your kids are certain levels of growth that they have to be independent of you. They should not be depending on you all the time. You are burning yourself out. You've got to look at child development, and you got to understand there are certain things that your children have to do so they could be independent adults. We have to look at codependency because I think a lot of times people are overburdened because they want everybody to depend on them so they could be valuable to the relationship. But at the same time, you're really burning yourself. Now that you're burning yourself, out, and and then you're saying self-love. But if you think about it, you've become, it's a codependent relationships and across all board. If your child is 16, they don't want to drive. Are you serious? I was looking forward to driving Ed. Man, when I got my first job at 18, I told my parents, you can keep your allowance. And that's what, that's what you're supposed to be.
Bro, that's so circumstantial. I mean, it don't really work like that. Like,
hey, that's Simon.
Yeah, salute to the panel.
Salute, Simon. Salute, brother.
What's good, Simon?
Long time, Simon. How you doing?
Joseph. Yo, man.
What am I,
Conrad? I am. Yo.
Blessings.
Yeah, I'm just saying it don't necessarily work. Like, I know you're a sophisticated man and like you're really well educated and stuff like that. But I'm just saying it don't really work like that. Like you can't put that on the kids like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like if you're doing codependent relationships across all levels, right? You're going to burn out. There's a lot of times you want to be interdependent.
Yeah,
but we're not taught interdependent. We believe like keeping ourselves busy and keeping ourselves at service that we're valuable.
All right. What you're saying is you don't have control of yourself. That's what you're saying. You're saying like, this is going around me. This is my environment, the environment that I created, but yet you're going to burn yourself out when you're supposed to be the leader and the teacher in your space. How does that work?
That's what I'm just saying. That's what we're looking at.
No. That's what you're looking at because that's your perspective.
But if people say they burned out,
deal with that. No,
Okay,
no.
Simon, here's an example. I'll give you an example of this, right? When I manage at my job, I don't manage my employees to depend on me for everything. I manage my employees to one, take over my job, two, that handles the function of the company to run it if I was not here.
Okay. Well,
That's how I run it.
how successful is
And
the
then,
company that you work for,
well,
or
all right.
company
So
that you
then I'll
run?
explain that with the children. With the children, right? With the children, I have
No,
to
I'm
teach
not
them
talking
how
about the children.
things.
Don't. No, no, no. I'm not talking about.
No,
I'm
I'm gonna
talking
go
about
there because it
you.
goes with the family. Hold on, Simon.
No,
Hold on,
no, no.
Simon.
Don't
Simon.
sidetrack.
No, no,
Right.
Simon. Hold
Okay.
on. Hold
Right.
on.
Cool.
Hold on.
Right.
Hold
Cool.
on. Hold on,
Hold
Simon.
on for a second, y'all. Come on. All right,
Hold on,
let's
Simon.
go.
So when it
Go ahead,
comes to
Sam.
children, right? There are certain levels where I'm like, okay, now it's time for you to go to school on your own, and we have to build this up. And also, when I drive with the children, one thing I have them do is like, look, I need you off the phone and to look in the environment. So always look out where we're driving. So I want them to get used to the idea of like knowing their locations. That's number one. Mapping the locations where they're going to so they can see stuff and grounding. And then three, at the same time, I show them how I parallel park every time while I'm driving, while I put the signals. Because sooner or later, right, they're going to hit that part where they're going to have to drive. So I have to do the informations. Now, hold on, about to go to relationships. With the relationship, right, with a woman, I have to tell her some things like, hey, this is why we go here and this is why we get the oil change. You got too many lights here. What's going on? Let's go ahead and get this air in your tire. And I explained to her, like, if I'm not here, you do have this service. Just look at your insurance because it's right there. You have all this stuff. Because a lot of times I might not be there. A lot of times what I've learned is like, yo, it's not the fact I don't want people depending on me, but it's the smaller stuff that I want them to feel like they can cover and grow. The whole thing of relationships is not just for me to grow, it's for everybody around me to grow.
I agree with that.
Right. So, why can't you just simplify things and get your child into a school within the proximity where you can walk?
You're not in the US, Simon. Things a little different here.
I'm not. What? No, you're going back. Okay. So you're
No, I'm
going.
not going back. I'm just telling you this.
You are. Nah,
No,
you
no.
are.
Here's
You went on
something.
this
No,
whole tirade about sort of like, I got to do this. I
Simon,
got to do that.
schools are.
No,
Here's
no,
what's
no.
going on. Here's
No,
what's
you
going on.
don't think I know?
No, no.
You
No,
don't
here's
think
what's
I
going on in
know?
this space. I'm
You
going to
don't think
answer
I
your question.
know?
I'm going to answer
All
your
right,
question.
All right.
Simon, I'm going
Yeah.
to answer your question. Schools are shutting down and they're consolidating. A lot of times, your child is not going to a middle school that's close like it was for your elementary, like the elementary school. It's not walking distance. And then the high school it also consolidates. People are not having children like they used to. Schools are getting smaller, so they consolidating the schools, and they're taking away a lot of schools because the enrollments are low. That's the reality that's here in the United States. So a
That's the
lot of time,
reality all over the world, guy.
But
okay,
they
but I'm not
also
talking
like
more.
I know around where I live, man, they got a shortage of bus drivers too. So parents do gotta like drive because man, I was looking at one bus, man, they had kids standing up and shit. So yeah, they
Damn.
don't even have enough bus drivers to kind of pick up all the kids and stuff. So no, it's parents do gotta do a lot of driving. So
It's hardcore. It's hardcore. You don't think like I gotta wake up in the morning and like get my kid to school like when it's raining and like think about how I'm gonna do that. I don't want to do it. You get what I'm saying? But I gotta do it. You know, over here, I know like you want to be proficient and protagonist about that. But over here, it's like, oh, okay. If I don't bring my child into school, I could go into prison. You know what I mean? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Do you know what I mean? Every day. That's parenthood. But I'm just saying we have a responsibility. You get what I'm saying? And we
But
gotta work out. We gotta be a bit creative, like in terms of how we do it. And
Go ahead, comrade.
no, Simon, I hear what you're saying, but if we talk about that in its totality, that's completely fine for a man because we were never taught that we can have a time, a space, and if so be it, we can press separate on a situation to explore self-love. we as men, I agree with what you're saying, Simon, but that is the everyday life for a man, where we know we got to get up. If we see that our kids are traveling too far, as much as what Stan is saying is correct, we do need them to be strategic. They do need to be aware of their surroundings. They do need to know how many blocks is it from your house before you gonna get tired? What's your total estimated walking time to school? And I'm so militant, I know exactly what speed I walk at. You get what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, but for men that has never changed. And what we're trying to discover right now, or define, as M3 is putting it, is what is this self-love? And I would even ask the question is, why is self-love so important that you didn't know you needed it until you got into a relationship, got married, had some kids, and had to start being a functional parent? Because the men,
That's a real good
hold on. The men that are leaving the homes, the men that are just shacking up with women and having random kids and then they out the next day. Well, let's be honest. Those men only got access because somebody didn't want to see the truth about the situation. So you were already negating self-love because you were attracted to a type that was prone to self-destruction.
Wait a sec.
Wait. Stop, Simon. Hold on for 1 second. Sister I am, what was your reply?
I was just really quickly building on what he's saying. He said, why is it that you figure this out once you're in the relationship with the family? It's because women and girls are taught that that will be their ultimate fulfillment. And what happens is they get there and they're working hard every single day doing all these things. And
I have to disagree, my sister. I have to disagree. That is not the message that is going out to young girls.
Wait. Hold on for a second. Since you finish. Hold on, guys.
Sorry, I interrupted her. Sorry.
Yeah.
No worries. I think women get into that position and they're handling those roles and they feel just exhausted and they wonder, who they were before they had all this duty. And that's kind of where that that longing tends to come in for getting back to self, returning to self, and focusing on self-love. That's my thought on it.
So if you did not know who self was before the relationship, why would we, and I'm going to say both men and women now, why would we use said relationship to define self? Self is devoid. Self is devoid of relationship. And this is what Stan is talking about. I have to define myself as I grow.
I think she has a real point.
No, I'm not saying she doesn't have a real point. I'm questioning the point. I'm trying to extrapolate a deeper thought.
Which is Simon, I'll get to you in a minute. Go ahead, comrade.
We have to be already aware of self. See, this is what I'm trying to say. There's a blanket that tells women worldwide, regardless of culture, that at any given time you can go and find that blanket, hug that blanket, wrap yourself in that blanket, because it's what you need to do right now, or God so help you, you are going to die. My young girl, don't do it. Men, get up, get up, get up, get up. And I'm not saying that I want the message to change, because the way I see my son operating at 3 years old, that's how he does. He knows at the times when he can chill out, relax, but he knows when, you got to be on your P's and Q's. But why are we waiting until we have duty and responsibility to say, I need to be devoid of duty and responsibility to understand self, when self should have already been discovered before relationship? Because you had duty. You had a duty to yourself. You had a duty to pay your bills. You had a duty to take yourself to the dentist. You had a duty to make sure you studied for your grades. You had a duty to make sure that you showed up to your job on time. You had a duty to make sure that you paid your cell phone bill. You had a duty to make sure that your weave was right, your eyelashes were right, your toes were right, your hair, your nails were right, your butt was right, your stomach was right. Those are your responsibilities. So you let yourself get to advertisement. It wasn't self-love. It was self-care. And you did really good at being, at excelling at self-care, not realizing that you weren't loving yourself, because what you thought you wanted, maybe, just maybe, you really don't want that.
But
We can't be devoid of responsibility and then say I'm burnt out, and I'm pouring out and I'm pouring out. No, you didn't pour into yourself correctly when you didn't have said responsibility. And now you want to you want to burn down responsibility to go find self-love. That is chaotic. That's a little chaotic.
Hmm. Can I go?
Yeah, man. I yield. Sorry, brother.
Yo, I get you. I get you. Cornflakes, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, right? Um,
No, that
the,
yo,
the
y'all gotta understand his
no,
humor.
chill, right? Chill,
I got
bro.
your humor, bro.
No, okay, cool, whatever. Like, what I'm saying is, like, men that speak like this want another man. Like, you're not wanting a woman. Women do not operate like that. You're coming from a mind state
No, no, no.
that.
I'm looking at the
No,
situation
don't
around me.
interrupt me, please. No, I
No,
didn't
I'm gonna
interrupt.
have to push back on you because what you just said
I
doesn't
had to
make
mute him
no
on that
sense.
one.
I'm gonna push back on you because what you just said makes no sense. Women are taught today to put
No, he's
themselves
clowning.
first,
Don't even
devoid
address
of a
that,
man.
man. We
She just
Mm-mm.
let me get one question for I am.
Devoid of a man.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Wait,
We ain't even.
I ain't even
Don't
responded.
don't don't try to come on here and lie to me, bro. Lie to yourself. Don't come try to lie to
Yeah,
me.
Nah,
Simon, chill out with that.
Lie to
But I
yourself.
want to let me ask I am a question because she did bring up a good point. Because I do agree with.
I ain't even respond. Can I just
Nah,
like
man, we done with
respond
that.
quickly?
No. We're gonna skip that after that comment.
Yeah.
No.
But I think Conrad does have a good point as far as like the self. You need to kind of define yourself, early in the stage before you jump in a relationship. And I think you also had a good point, where you're like the messaging before is just like people were telling women that, hey, if you do this act is supposed to be your fulfillment, but everybody maybe not shouldn't be a parent, So do you think like people should be having these conversations with women like, look, once you have a kid, it is a lot of responsibility. A lot of time doesn't belong to you. Kind of communicate it like that instead of like shaping it up as the fairy tale, you're always going to be happy
Absolutely.
and stuff like that. So do you think that's the issue I am?
Absolutely. And I agree with Conrad that people, women and men, should be doing this work prior to going into unions, especially ones that are supposed to be like forever. But yes, I definitely agree that people should have a more realistic picture, women and girls specifically, because I think men have a very realistic picture of marriage. Men get married for different reasons, different motivations, completely different than women do. And so I always say I had the benefit of examples of wives. Everybody in my family was married. I saw so many examples of marriage, right? What I find though, our greater community come from single parent households. And I even heard a guy the other day, a black man, say, I've never seen anyone love my mother, not his father, not anyone ever. Right. And so I think that women and girls coming up in single parent environments have a more fairy tale picture of what marriage and family and motherhood will be. And so, yeah, they don't have a holistic kind of,
That's very generalistic, though.
yeah, I'm being very general on purpose. You know what I mean? Very general on purpose. But I think also if even if we bring it down to the societal conditioning of just teaching girls about fairy tales and Snow White and kissing a prince and happily ever after, even that is problematic. There's no
That's
such
kind of
thing as
funny that
happily
you say that
ever
because,
after.
Hold
like,
on, Simon. Hold on, Simon. Go ahead.
I can end it there. Yeah, there's no such thing as happily ever after. So I think, giving women and girls a more realistic picture of what those roles are really like day to day, and how much is required of them in those roles. I think that's I think that's way better conditioning than what we have now, or training,
No,
I
I
should
agree with
call it,
that.
Yeah.
education.
I
I don't
appreciate
My
know.
that.
question is, wait, hold on. It's time for me to ask my question. But my question is that okay? I get it. Like when you're like a young girl, and I mean, and unfortunately, your parents is like giving you like all these like these fairy tale weddings, and or I'll just say fairy tale endings. once you find your Prince Charming, good career, tall, good looking, white picket fence, a dog or a cat, and a bunch of other kids. But as a grown woman, like I feel like, I mean, prior to get to these type of relationships, and like I said, and I understand, like, some people still hold on to that particular delusion. But I think, like, when you're grown enough, you should already kind of have like a sense that, hey, some of the things that I heard from my community, from my parents, from certain individuals, you should be able to kind of decipher like what's going on like throughout the world that's going on today. Like we should already know that, hey, like it's not really like that, based off like all these like failed marriages, failed relationships, people not being like committed, or it's easy to like maybe to attain one, but it's really hard to like retain one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess it's like simple,
I
like
agree. I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I
grown
mean,
women have a different delusion, and that delusion sometimes it comes from religion. Honestly, is
there's
God's
Damn.
gonna
no
give you a
You about to
delusion.
get
beautiful,
kicked out the
wonderful?
So the
sisterhood
church
mentioning
again, huh?
delusion.
The
There's no
church.
delusion. This is a very minimal
I agree with the church.
sector of the population. There are no women out here trying to like mess with men. Like this is some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're real in real life, how come we get married? How come we in relationships? How come?
Because women want to
Like
get married.
exactly.
And
How come?
because
Look, M3 exactly is the epitome of what is going on. Like this dude is married. He's been married. Look, you ain't seen his videos. He walk around with his wife happy. You know what I'm saying? What the hell are people are talking
Simon.
about?
All right, let's get Sheree in there. Thank you.
This
Hi,
hold on.
Sheree. Yes, the
Hello,
lady.
ladies. Oh, and again, I've been totally listening to like what you guys have been talking about, and there is there is no right or wrong answer. There really isn't. It's what you like. With me and Mr. Hubby, oh my god. There was quite a while when he disliked me because of things I did or the choices I made. So I decided to go ahead and change this, not for him, but for us, because I really do like him.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
you
that's
love
And
him,
I
right?
shouldn't be that much of a bitch. And again, if I like him, we need to work together. I should not be a bitch just to be a bitch.
no, I agree with you.
Now that's self love. That is self love.
That ain't no damn self love.
All right,
But
thank you, Sheree.
let me.
Wait, why are you so anti self love? How
That's
did you
self
get that way?
love. She gave an example of self love. That's good. Thank you.
Well,
Wait,
and again, you have to semi self love yourself in order to love others. Otherwise, can I get an amen? I'm sorry.
yeah, I got you.
I agree.
You gotta love yourself in order to hate somebody else.
All right. So
No, I agree with you, Sheree. I'm just messing
what is
around.
self love? What is self love?
We already kind of covered that part, but what you gonna say, Sophisticated Jerk?
Now I was gonna ask a question. So say, okay, somebody like they stay on this journey, this path of self-love. It's extended. We're hitting into like 4 or 5 years. Can that lead to like loneliness or misery?
Nah,
And I'll
you
just
should be
ask
fully in love. That should be a happy, fully relationship.
That's so negative. Like why?
No, because I'm just I hear a lot of people like when they're like, okay, they'll have like a couple IGs. They're like, hey, I'm on this journey to self-love, and then 2 months later, it's like we're all the mid. It's like I'm lonely. So can this, can they get a phase where it's just like there's a path with like loneliness, or they end up miserable going down this self-love? And anybody want to jump in there, man? I'm just asking.
Maybe we should ask Vivica Fox.
Oh, you said Vivica Fox?
Maybe we need to ask Vivica Fox.
Wow, we went somewhere.
Why would you say Vivica Fox though?
Because she's taking applications. She's taking applications now.
So what you say?
applications.
She had a,
Vivica Fox is taking applications.
Yeah, she's ready to share
Yeah,
her
she
life.
said that she's taking
You
applications. She's
met
oh,
ready.
for real.
She's
men,
and she don't care about the culture, the background, their ethnicity, or nothing of that. She taking applications from everybody.
Yes.
you
Oh,
met
Yeah,
I'll
so
put my
that-
application in for Vivica Fox. I mean, she hot.
So does he? Let me ask this question. So Vivica Fox, does she sound desperate now?
No,
Would you
she
say?
says she's done with the journey. She's ready to share her life. I
You are
mean,
wild.
again,
You are
she
wild.
she done
Oh,
her work
here we go.
and
Like,
she's
yo,
ready
no,
and she's taking
you-
application.
Name, Sheree. Age. Oh, would you like to sexual? Yes, please. That's all I should put to Vivica A. Fox, right?
Sheree wants to
Just
sign up.
yes.
What'd you say?
All right, Ruthless Truth. What's your take on self love? What does that mean to you?
Self-love is an acronym for selfishness, right? So the more you love yourself, the more the less you love the other person. The more, so therefore, when it's time to, resolve conflict, you then put yourself first, and you take the win, and it may cost you, your relationship or your whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in the long run. So, and I'm parsimonious on this for everybody, but women are the most ones to extrapolate this because men, we always practice selflessness, right? Because we share our resources, our time, and all that stuff.
This
But
nigga
women,
I'm in jail.
Well, Simon,
Women
I want to hear what you have to say about that.
women
yeah,
are
but
typically-
go ahead.
women are driven and told by the therapist, their mama, their friends. Love yourself, girl. Who ain't nobody gonna love you like you love you? And look at the divorce rates.
All right, now Simon, what you was gonna say?
I just every time Ruthless comes up, he got something bad to say about women, like all the fucking time. It's wild, man.
Not true,
I'm
Ruthless.
just really intrigued. Like I've been watching this dude for a couple of years. Every time he steps up, he be saying some bad stuff about some ladies. I'm like, God damn.
Okay, where's the
That's
He
why
just
we
self-love in
expresses
this?
his opinion. Everybody can
Well,
express themselves. He's always like respectful and stuff.
I appreciate that, but I'm just like, wow. I mean, you ain't had a positive experience.
But
Like,
so what did he say that was would you give pushback to, Simon?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
You rewind the tape. Look, just see what he just said a minute ago. Every time he steps up, he says this shit. He's just like,
He said women are taught to self-love regardless of the situation or the circumstances that they're in. That is the
Okay.
truth.
no, that's total bullshit. Like, God
All
damn.
right. You know what?
Oh,
My
so you-
battery's
so you don't-
dying.
Oh, okay. So you don't agree to that? That's what you're saying.
Of course, because women are loving. Like, women are the most soft touch, and that's why men get with women, because it's a different side of things. Because men go out, they work hard. You want to come back to somebody, and it's like they do the opposite to what you actually have to experience. Now, if you don't actually know what that means, it's a problem.
Okay, I'm
Go ahead, comrade.
I just want to ask a question. So you said, if I'm hearing this correctly, and I've dated before, so I'm trying to think back on what I was thinking when I saw a woman. What was the first thing in my mind, especially when I was working on my own before marriage? We want something immediately to come back soft to. That's why, man, we just run after women just because of that. Simon. Okay, partially. So what's the other side of it then?
I don't usually hear a lot of men say that I run to women for their softness. I don't usually hear that.
Well, we don't really have to articulate it. We don't want to be laying up with no hard ass like body and shit. So yeah, I agree with Conrad. Like if I'm thinking about it, will I say it like that? No, but yeah, I want to be with a
Most
feminine type woman.
They
Well,
wanna
yeah,
Light
that's
skin. I ain't trying to be with no.
I mean, even though I won't mind, like, you know, being with a fit
most,
bodybuilder or whatever, or someone
most
that's
men
into
want to
fitness.
act like they're in the YMCA. Macho.
Oh, here he goes with this stuff. He got to go.
Nah, yo, so Simon, real talk though. What did he say that was wrong?
Who
Simon trolling.
Yeah, what did he say that was wrong? He did not. He was not hyperbolic at all. He wasn't facetious.
What does hyperbolic
He just
mean?
told the truth.
Well, what does hyperbolic
He didn't stretch the truth. He didn't extrapolate. He didn't exaggerate.
What does hyperbolic mean?
If you speak,
Deep breath. Deep
What?
breath, comrade. Deep breath.
Okay, so
Deep breath.
guys,
He just reeling you in, comrade. Don't let him do it.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay, that's what he's trying to do. Okay, okay.
So Simon, right?
I know.
Let me just put you in the background real quick, right? Don't worry, Simon. It's nothing
There you
personal,
go, there you
right?
go.
But I just want to just kind of move on with the show
Shout
real
out to
quick.
Simon,
So,
though.
Simon, like you cool, man. Hey, we're still boys, though. But
Yeah,
on the
because
record,
if Conrad, the minute Conrad said Bumble Claude, they have to get off this phone. He said that. When you got Jamaican say Bumble Claude, get out. Get out. Just run.
Oh my God. but Simon, you cool though, right? Like we're still cool. But I gotta just put you in the background just real quick because I gotta keep the show flowing. And on the record, look, I am divorced. Okay, I'm not married anymore, and that's it. So it is what it is.
50% on you.
And I'm enjoying my new life.
When you get divorced, E?
I'll save all that stuff in the background. You know what I mean? Off the screen, but you know, unfortunately, life happens. Now, of course, I was not the one who initiated, but this is not a subject that we're going to talk about. We're talking about self-love now, you know. And right now, your boy is trying to learn how to utilize the art of self-love, but I'm starting to realize that shit. There might not be no such thing as self-love or whatever. Self-care, yes, I could see that. We got a guy named Damien. Anybody know that guy named Damien?
Yeah, that's Dame Dollar.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Big Dame, what's good?
D, what's
how y'all
up?
doing?
How you been,
man?
I've been good.
Damien.
I haven't been in these YouTube streams much, man.
Yeah, I got some topics for you, Dame, that I'm cooking up. But Dame, real quick, what's your take on self-love? How would you define it if you had to define it?
Before, I don't even like the term self-love because I always felt like, love is the absence
Love is
of
something that you give, not something you take.
Well, hold on, Sheree. Hold on. I want to hear from Damien real quick.
I feel like love, when it comes to yourself, you lose a lot of objectivity. So it's an old saying, love is the death of objectivity. So I think you need to be, I'm all about self-like. Do you really like yourself? When you like yourself enough, you can be objective on the things you need to change and the things that you need to work on. Love yourself. You'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I'm 200 pounds, live in my mother's basement, but somebody's going to love me for me or something like that. But if you like yourself, you're like, you know what? I think you're like a lot more critical of the things you need to fix and change on yourself. So I don't know. I just because anytime I hear somebody about self-love, there's a bunch of shit wrong with them that they just want you to accept about them.
So Damien, right? Last night, like, Sophisticated Jerk and Stan and I, right? We had like a show and we was talking about, it was something a little similar, but one of the topics was a woman loved herself so much that she decided to marry herself. I'm for sure you probably encounter some of those women, sister I am, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's that weirdo shit.
Yeah, but then later she divorced herself because she couldn't stand herself anymore. So I don't know. What you said kind of like brought that type of memory up.
I mean, it's just one of those things where I think people push that whole self-love and they don't take enough time to like really, do I really like this? Because I remember there was this one comedian who said it perfectly. He was like, you nicer to people that you actually, and more realistic to people that you like. Because if you love, I remember he was saying, Like if you out drinking somebody with somebody that you love, and you knock over their drink and they put their drink down, you knock it over. You're like, now why the fuck would you put your drink there? It's cool if I curse on your channel.
Oh yeah,
Good with that.
You could.
Okay, so cool. Why the fuck would you put your drink right there? You know, I talk with my hands and blah blah blah. But if you like them, you're like, oh my bad. You know, what you call it? Let me get you another drink. I'm so sorry about that. It's just like you. I don't know. You have a different mentality when you approach things that you like, because I really do feel like you're a lot more objective with the things you like than you are with love. Because like, you know, I was saying like, and I said this on Will's show with Jerk, and I think Joseph, you might, Stan, you might be in there too. It was like, you know, you say you walking into your kids' school and you see all their macaroni pictures on the wall, you're gonna always think yours is your kid's the best because you love them. You lost the objectivity. You always be like, yeah, my kid's the best, even though there's other kids that got like glitter and stickers and all that kind of stuff, and your kid's just playing. You're gonna always think my kid is the best. So it's I just think you just need to maintain objectivity, and that's why you should like yourself preferably over loving yourself.
That's a good way to put it.
Also on that show, you said something that stood out, and it stayed with me to this day. You said that for us men, we stay at service, and that's the whole thing of being in relationships, be at service. And our counterparts didn't like that.
Yeah, so we recognized
somebody else. So being at service for your husband was like, I ain't sound for that. But for men, it's be at service for the wives, and it stayed with me. I'm like, yo, like, do we? And again, when I look at this self-love value thing, when people go through, like, and now I'm gonna go to the mother of self-love, Oprah. She's always at service. She provides information for other men and women, and you know, we don't agree with her on everything, but what I see, like, yeah, she loves herself, she builds herself, she grows, but also she brings it back. And a lot of times when I see or hear self-love, again, I don't see that. I'm like, oh God, are you going to destroy us? Like, what's going to happen here? I think self-love is one of those words that needs to be banned from the dictionary along with toxic.
Okay, can I tell you a story?
Yeah. What was you sipping on down there, though? What was that you was drinking on?
That E&J.
Oh, you got some E&J down there?
Okay, here's a story. I work at a farm who's got pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? There are some things when they're like, oh, I like this pumpkin, but I'm not going to pay for it. And there's other times when they're like, oh, this pumpkin is nothing, but I'm totally going to pay an extra $15 for it. Don't know why, but that is why. Those are weird things that happen. Here's my whole deal is, it is okay to like something. And liking something is almost a little bit better than loving something. Because liking something you can do on a daily basis. Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. I got jerky. I'm so sorry. Please excuse me.
It's all good. It's all good.
We're just waiting for that E&J to wear off on you.
Here's where I was gonna go with that. There was a little kid that was being a freaking brat at the pumpkin patch. He was being a freaking brat, and he was like, "Mom, I don't like you." And I went back. I was like, "I'm pretty sure your mom doesn't like you either right now."
Damn. Okay. He was a little direct. True. You know, you gave some truth in there. Okay. Shout out to Lean.
I think men's reaction to self-love, just hearing you guys, listening to you, I think there's like this subconscious kind of like jealousy. You guys are not for it. Yeah, I think you guys are not for it, but you know what? So my first thought was that it's because you might be receiving less from us. When a woman says she's in a self-love phase, we might be less accessible with all of our let's just call it softness, right? But I also think there's another level of, I think you guys aren't allowed that kind of journey the way that we are. So it could be a little bit of the injustice of that. Like, this is something that you get to do, but I don't have that kind of freedom to make that kind of choice for myself. Am I off on those?
No. Actually, you're actually spot on like on
Yeah.
those two. But it's
No,
more
it
like
totally makes sense.
we don't have that type of experience. So because we never kind of like embraced it, or we felt like, okay, like we needed this term self-love, because we always going to look at it like it's a woman's type of thing. We're just more focused on like dutiful type of things. So
do y'all think like guys should practice more self-love? Even I don't like the word, I'm like Dame, but do you think guys should go this route a little bit more? Should we start walking out on relationships?
Sorry, I'm wondering myself.
Journey of self-love.
I want to address her comment.
Go ahead, Dave.
No. It's just like, I hear what you're saying. I absolutely do. I think the difference is the most of the journeys that men take are based in a foundation of reality and fact and duty and things like that. Those things kind of lead the journeys that we take in life. Women can hold on to a lot more delusion because other women in society will necessarily allow them to. They don't necessarily fact check other women, just because there's a sisterhood and there's kind of, and I'm not saying for any kind of malicious intent. I think what it is just like a lot of women have that culture of care for each other. They want to look out for each other. They don't want to make each other feel bad. They want to build people up. So sometimes they cannot have they cannot be 100% straight up with women who are on these journeys. And part of, if you really love yourself, the first thing you need to do is be true to yourself and be honest about who you are and where you at. And I think a lot of women can live in a lot of delusions. So a lot of that self-love isn't grounded in reality. And I think men, when we have, that's why I said men, we tend to want to like ourselves more than love ourselves, because there's a whole lot of reality that goes along with liking yourself.
What you just
loving yourself.
Yeah, hold on. Let me ask Dame something. Dame, real quick. So do you think like that path that they're on, say like, since I get it, females are, nicer. So they're, like you said, they're going to kind of not give that truth or hard pill to swallow type thing that guys, we got to go through. Do you think that could be kind of dangerous for them or disastrous? Like if they kind of continue down that path? Like it could lead to somewhat destruction. Yeah,
if they hold on to the delusion, I want to say, or if they live in kind of this echo chamber of care and support and stuff like that. This is coming off like that will come up. That comes up the way. But I'm just saying anything where if it's not grounded in realism, because the first way you cure any kind of situation is acknowledging it, and then you can develop a plan to better yourself or what have you. But if you're living under delusion, like, hey, society should bend to you, or or if you don't set realistic expectations on where you are and what you can achieve, you will think the other people are wrong, and you really won't do what's necessary to change the things about you that's keeping you from getting all the shit you want to get. So I think that could be the danger for women long term. And I think and that could be very confusing to men, because like I said, a lot of our journeys are so grounded in reality and fact and duty that it's very foreign to us, and that's why men can push back against a lot, because there's a lot of self-delusion that can go along with that self-love thing.
Yeah, what I was going to say earlier was that like what you described is basically a subjective type of group. If you go back to the example that you made earlier, like as a parent, you have a kid that has like the macaroni drawings or whatever versus someone that is a little fine-tuned in the arts. But you're always going to believe, or you're going to let the child know that his or her artwork was the best out of everyone ranked up, which is not necessarily true, but because of the love that you have. And that's the same thing with these groups. It's like there's a certain type of love that like these groups they carry and they love, for one another. that even though they see like, you know, the outcome and they see like, okay, how like this could be like the fall of their sister, they would rather like pump her head up so she could still keep believing like children, you know?
Yeah, and that's detrimental because how that kid gonna get better at drawing if everybody's saying where you are is perfect, where you are is, and if anybody can't see that your drawing is the best, there's something wrong with them. They'll never improve. They'll never get better to where or reach where they could potentially really be if they put in the work to get better.
I agree. Women have like layers of delusion that are reinforced by, you know, our tribes, our sister circles, our, you know, whatever. And yeah, I agree. It's deep and it's very hard to penetrate. It's very hard to penetrate.
Yeah, because the honest woman in a group of women is usually going to get ostracized by the other woman. The woman who's like, you know, we messing up, we need to change stuff or whatever like that, usually get ostracized by the group because the group is looking for, they get together to take care of each other,
right?
You know, to support each other, not to like, you know, change each other for the most part.
That's a good point. Were they gonna call her a pick me or something like that? Was that
right? Damn, sell out.
No, I think this is definitely a good topic to highlight because, like I said, everybody has some good points, and I think like even I am. It's just like, hey, you know, understanding like how women even look at it because I think that's sometimes, you know, what's missing in conversations. I think sometimes we do all group together, we have our opinion. I ain't gonna lie, I got mine, but I do like to hear other people's thoughts on something.
Hey, real quick, SJ, right? We have like one more video. It's like
go ahead, play that one, man.
Yeah, so let's play that video and then we can wrap it up. All right, fair use. Wait, and this is titled, okay, love and self-love. Love and self-love. Okay, got you. All right, here we go. Thank you, Stan, for this.
Great and slightly strange dangers of falling in love with someone is how we may respond the day they start to love us back. Some of the reason we fall in love with people is because we long to escape from ourselves into the embrace of a person who appears as beautiful, perfect, and accomplished as we feel ourselves to be flawed, dumb, and mediocre. But what if such a being will one day to turn around and love us back? No.
Oh, you know, I got to pause it every now and then and say my little commentary.
And with this whole sensitive ass video.
Right. Damn. And look how this person, like, she's already looking disgusted. Like, damn, you gave me a heart. How dare you?
Why aren't you pedestalizing me? That's what she's looking at him like.
How come both knees are not on the ground? Why is one knee on the ground?
Where's my ring?
Right.
There's nothing like being pedestalized. It's fabulous.
Okay, sisters, let's go ahead and continue the video.
Nothing could discredit them faster. How could they be as divine as we'd hope for when they have the bad taste to approve of someone like us? It turns out that one of the central requirements of a good relationship is a degree of affection for ourselves, built up over the years, largely. We need a legacy.
Wait, hold on, I'm pausing real quick.
Of love, in order.
And salutes to you know, Braves, Hawks, Falcons fan. Like, thank you for tuning in. Salute my brother. Who just screamed like that? I thought y'all wanted me to pause.
Sorry. That was I am.
Oh,
that
okay.
was not me. That was Sheree.
Oh, it's Sheree? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that was me.
She probably heard my reaction because as soon as they was like, it requires a self-affection for self. I was like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah, so I made a noise. That was me.
Okay. Yeah, that part. Yeah, that's kind of complicated just by saying that. All right, let me go ahead and just continue playing this.
Not to respond very obtusely to the affections granted to us by adult partners. Without a decent amount of self-love, the love of another person will always prove sickening and misguided, and we will, self-destructively, though unconsciously, set out to repel or disappoint it. It will simply feel more normal and therefore comfortable to be disliked or ignored when that is mostly what we have known. If we're not wholly convinced of our own
that is kind of true.
Affection can appear like being bestowed a prize for an accomplishment we don't feel we ever earned. People unfortunate enough to fall in love with self-hating types must brace themselves for the recriminations due to false flattery.
Look, homie, you too big and buff right to be crying like this, all right? Man, you can move on with another side chick or something.
There is an old joke made by Groucho Marx about not deigning to belong to a club that would accept someone like him as a member. We laugh at the Marxist position because of its absurd contradictions. How is it possible that we should both wish to join a club and yet lose that wish as soon as it comes true? Why wouldn't we just be
That's so
happy
cool.
being allowed
That's
into
so
this club?
true.
The answer lies in self-hatred. Because for many of us, being accepted into a grand and beautiful club doesn't feel like what our inner psyches have been shaped to accept. We wonder how we can continue to believe in a club or indeed a beloved now that they believe in us. There is usually a troubling Marxist moment in every relationship, a moment when it becomes clear that love is going to be reciprocated, that we won't simply admire someone from afar without hope of mutuality. The way the crisis is resolved depends on the balance between self-love and self-hatred in our own characters. If self-hatred gains the upper hand, then the one who is being left back will declare that the beloved, on some excuse or other, is just not good enough for them. Not good enough by virtue of associating with no goods. But if self-love gains the upper hand, then both partners may accept that seeing their love reciprocated is not proof of how low the beloved is, but instead of how
damn, what is this, a
lovable
movie?
they have themselves.
I
think we get to
we got
play.
a few more seconds, but this is like the most sensitive video I've ever saw. So
Like, man, there's been like 2 minutes of this evil chick that's verbally abusing this guy, slapping him.
Right. This sounds honestly, this sounds like a video for like narcissism, but we're gonna continue.
To be.
Or a video on
Acknowledges that knowing how to love ourselves a little can be one of the kindest and therefore most romantic things we can ever learn to do for our partners.
Look at cartoon Tia Mowry.
That was deep, actually. That was actually really deep. But
Yeah, 'cause when you
sophisticated.
look
I
at
want to
it-
know what plans you have tonight.
Oh, what was that?
I want to know what plans you have tonight.
Oh, me?
Yeah, he's like, I got.
Well, Stan said I should stand in the mirror naked,
What?
reflect
Who said
on
that?
myself.
No, don't do that.
He said that's one of the tools. That's one of the videos that they.
dude.
I'm going to
Occasionally
sleep.
standing naked in a mirror is okay.
Oh, it is.
Believe
Okay.
it, understand it, embrace it.
So it's okay to be like
Mirror nakedness.
so you're saying it's better to be unclothed, right? While giving heavy words of affirmation to oneself. While face yourself in the mirror, that is.
Yeah. Now remember, I told
Yeah.
you guys this about being grounded. Again, this is a homework from the therapist.
But why you gotta
If
be
your
naked, though?
therapist does not give you this homework, I don't need y'all to be copying and doing
That's
this
not like
exercise.
a freaking therapist if she advised you to be naked and then just give yourself words of affirmation through a
But
mirror.
I think
understand,
the,
for
the
her, it
naked
was a
is
substance.
just kind of like a representation of the soul, and the it's to be stripped of anything that may hold you back from the experience. I hear what you're saying. I hear what I know.
There is a song called Affirmation by
How's it
Matchbox 20.
How's
It's
the
one of
song?
my favorite songs.
How's the
Check it
song
out,
go?
okay.
Sing it.
Nah, we.
I can't sing it.
Nah, I am. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna go to sleep, but
I'm
Alright,
gonna
well,
I'm
just
gonna practice some of this stuff.
By Matchbox 20. It's one of my
I'll-
favorite songs. It's
I want to address something
like,
real quick
how
on the
can
video,
I
real
tell
quick.
you that you're wrong when I can't even tell myself that I am wrong?
Got you. Okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
Damien.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was kind of an extreme video, what have you. It's just like, because I don't think the opposite of self-love is self-hate. I don't think everybody who doesn't love themselves got to go extreme to like hating themselves. I think the opposite would probably be, for most people, would just be self-apathy, where they don't really put in the work to like learn anything about each other or do anything to develop or anything like that. And that's not hate. That's just apathy. You're just complacent, get comfortable, or what have you, and you're not really putting yourself in a position to grow. But I think I think the video kind of took it too far with, oh, you hate yourself, you despise, you don't think you're worthy of all that kind of stuff. I think that's a small percentage of people go through that. I think most people just kind of just are lazy and just don't care to like develop anything. They get comfortable, or it's just too hard or whatever you. So I think that's what people need to like fight most, is just that self apathy, where they don't do anything to put themselves in a better position in any situation in life, or romantic, financial, physical, spiritual, whatever. So I think
But then
that's
when they go
what
back to what
detrimental.
the video said, like they don't just feel like they deserve it, and
Well,
like,
no, they're just too lazy. I don't think there's a difference between saying I don't deserve this and I just don't have I don't have the desire to do it. I don't have the into, like, you know, it's like somebody, it's like going to the gym. It's like you don't feel like, oh my God, I don't deserve to be in shape. You're just too lazy to get your ass up and go to the gym.
That's a good
Put in
point.
the work.
Right. All right,
Yeah.
guys, we're gonna have to wrap this up.
But
Is
real
it
quick, let me ask Dame one question. So, Dame, is there a group of people that just get like joy or I guess fulfillment from like, say, serving others, or just dealing with the responsibility, where you probably don't need like self-love because you're just like doing all these like action items, like you were kind of mentioning with guys. We kind of,
yeah, like real talk, you know, husbands, you know, fathers. I mean, like we do so much, and you know, and mothers, just parents, but you know, they do a lot of stuff not because we love ourselves. It's just we get joy that I don't want to take it too wild, but it's kind of a version of compersion where you get happiness, you gain your happiness from seeing other people being happy. That could happen. Like I get so much happiness in seeing my wife and kids doing stuff, just like I know you guys do from your spouses or kids or whatever like that. When they do stuff, you feel so much joy, like probably sometimes even more than they're getting out of the situation. On Christmas, my kids play for stuff for 2 seconds, but I see them opening and I'm like giddy the whole day or whatever like that. So it's just like, yeah, there is times where we don't necessarily, it's not necessarily a self-love thing, but we can be happy and feel good about things we've done, you know, in situations like that. But so I hope that answered your question.
No, I did. No, I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah, but everybody, you know, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Look, I didn't think we was gonna have a full house like this tonight. So definitely, man.
Thank you guys.
Much gratitude. So I'm gonna have to wrap this up because your boy gotta get ready for work.
Are we doing closing remarks for everybody around the panel? Go around.
No. Okay.
No.
Closing remarks. Get the hell out, you know, and then come back again next time.
I don't want men to do no self-love, because you don't want to get shimmy out your Timberlands. So don't get flew out and get shimmy out your Timberlands. Don't do no self-love, guys.
Yeah, my takeaway from self-love is it's just code word for I want to play in these streets a little bit. I'm gonna go to one therapy session so I can lie and say I went to therapy, even though I was just like running through dick. So that's what self-love is. It has nothing to do with growth. It's just bullshit. So that's my assessment of self-love.
I learned shit from self-love. I feel like I wasted a lot of time trying to dice.
It don't exist.
Yeah, keep your objectivity. Don't lose your objectivity when you evaluating things that you might need to change about yourself. Don't let people think you're just fine where you are, because if you feel like you need to change, you probably need to change something.
Yeah, down.
Yeah.
Ruthless. Parting words, man. What do you think about self-love? Am I off base?
Self-love is the instrument of cancer. So when you start getting to, and particularly when you're engaged in a commitment, a major commitment, selflessness is the only true route to keep it alive, right? Sacrifice, right? Putting one's selfishness aside so that two of y'all can gain happiness, right? That is the recipe for long-term success. But when you start getting into self-love, right? It's almost like you're worshiping yourself. And then you become, right? It's a cancer. You start, everything you have to win. Everything comes about you. But what about me? What about me? And once you get into that mindset, it's over. It's over. There's nothing anyone else can do. It's a wrap.
I like what you said about the worship thing. That definitely makes sense because that's kind of what I be getting out of it. So that's why I am harsh on it, man. It just seems so. I definitely, because like I like what Stan brought up as the self-care. This is like, hey, you do need to do things. I am had some great points too, but I do think people take it over the edge where it's like, I need to separate from my family and all that. I need to just focus on me. And it's just like, I never see nobody that really did a bunch of growth. Like, I think what Dame was hitting on where he was just like, hey, man, I like the light because you're actually doing action items to fix yourself. So I think that's where people just got to focus on, because I think a lot of this shit is just so superficial, and you know, people just hiding behind buzzwords now where they think it just sounds clever. So it's just like, hey, this is what I'm doing, because like I said, I just don't want to say I want to hang out and shit, and then when it backfires, then you know, I want to get in a relationship at that point. So that's all this stuff is. But all right, M3, to kick it back to you, man.
No, but like I said, man, like the only thing I appreciate is just knowing that self-love is not applicable for most of us guys. But yes, like as far as like, okay, being objective, I feel like that's very reasonable to always have an objective mindset on certain things, because at least you're not coming across as being delusional. You know what I mean? You know where you're at, you see room, and you're always going to constantly see growth of improvement.
Yeah,
you know, a room of improvement, which that leads into growth. So again, everybody, like, you know, look, like yourselves, but don't be complacent. You know who you are. Look, if you look, man, if you're looking like a big whopper or whatever, right? Like, you know, trim that down. Damn, I tried, but you know what I mean? So keep doing what you're doing, and for both men and women. I mean, look, women, y'all always going to practice the art of self-love. That's a you guys thing. So kudos to you guys for that. But
shout out to Dame for pulling up. Dame and Ruthless, man.
Yeah,
Dame,
man.
we gotta get you back in these YouTube streets, man.
Yeah, I know. I'll be busy as hell now, but yeah, just hit me up. You know, I'm always there for you. I mean, you my boy,
no
so
doubt,
I'm always
man.
down when you need me, man.
We gotta get Will. I'm gonna pull Will back in a little bit.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Peace, sure. Oh, don't forget, man, stay tuned to Reckless Reviews with M3 and the Sophisticated Jerk, and also Stan Lee as well, too.
Yeah, Stan, better pull up.
Okay.
The trio, we gonna have to change the name instead of put Stan on there.
Yeah, of course.
Light skin Musketeers.
Yeah, get out of here with that shit, right? I'm too dark.
We're gonna have half price Mondays.
But you know, on a side note before we go, right? You know, like this is why it's a good deal, ladies, right? To get yourself a light skinned man, right? Because Scared Jerky asks good questions though.
Come 2025, you don't get a light skinned guy and them prices shoot up. You're gonna be upset that you missed out on the bargain.
It salutes to Marcus. He says,
"What's good, Marcus?"
I don't know what I was watching or listening, but I'm telling you timestamps for sure, everybody. Please and thank you. Look, man, if people want to make some timestamps for me, please do. We need a timestamp, guys. So,
I thought that was Marcus.
Yeah, that is Marcus.
I thought Marcus was our timestamp guy. I'm sorry, Marcus. What's up, Marcus?
Well, I don't know, Marcus, man. If you want to be the timestamp guy again, man, just let me know, man, because you know, we haven't had any timestamps for years. So, anyway, yeah, we're gonna be out, man. So, I'm gonna catch you guys again like next time. Tune in for this Sunday at what's it, 9 or 10? 10 o'clock?
Either or, we'll figure it out. We'll put a post. M3 put the post out there. Yeah, I don't care. Either one works for me. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let me go ahead and log ourselves out before I say something egregious about self-love. Stay away from certain churches if you really love yourself. All right. So I had to get that out.
That church about to roll up on them, huh, Stan? They gotta get them.
Don't let the organization do that to you, M3. Don't let the organization do that to you.
Nah, I just like fucking with them. You know what I mean? I have been going to church though. I went to church last Sunday. Not to bitch ass Christian church, but to a wholesome church. You know what I mean?
So you went to a different one. You relocated. stepped out of your comfort zone, so you were exploring a little bit.
Well, I went back to a church like where I last got baptized from after dealing with that other church, which I was still not going to name, but besides the acronyms. But no, it was good to actually come back. When I came back, I felt like the pastor made the lesson tailored for me, even though that was all the Lord. I would hope, but shout out to my coworker, man. She never gives up on me. All right. Well, anyways, everybody. No, Stan. Don't do it. All right. Let me go ahead and I want to find the outro. There we go. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Knowledge and relationships